Yes.
Hey, how's it going? Gordon.
Good.
What's happening, man?
Not much. Oh, you caught that you did the roll 20 instead of Zoom. Okay.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Not an idiot. You're just 50.
That's a good point. It's an excellent point. I should give myself a break once in a while. Like a 50-year-old, I'm enjoying a man in his 50s. I'm enjoying a nice hot mug of tea. As is common amongst gentlemen of a certain generation.
How's the family?
Good. Thias is coming home next weekend.
Yeah, cool. How's he
So
like?
we're all pleased and excited about that.
You doing good in college?
Yeah. It's actually, at first it was a little rocky, but he's doing a lot better now. And, things are evening up. He's building he's made a few friends, and he's hanging out with people and sort of sliding into being his own man. So it's good. It's good for him.
That reminds me of you a long time ago. Sliding.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Let's see. Hold on. I got to turn my audio up. I can barely hear everybody. All right, Gordon, say something.
Check. 1, 2, 3.
Ah, it's brilliant. That's much better. Okay. I had my volume way down for some reason. I don't know why. How are you doing, Dan?
I'm doing super.
Yeah?
Weather's cooling down a little, which is nice.
Yeah,
Finally.
you didn't get hit too hard by the hurricane, did you?
No, it stayed way more left than they thought, so it had no impact on me.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're Gulf Coast, right?
Not quite to the coast, but yes.
Okay.
So I could have been hit. They had tropical storm warnings for my county, but at the last minute, it just stayed left. So I was like, "Yay!"
Well, good for you. I'm glad that didn't cause you any problems. I saw some of the footage and still shots from Myrtle Beach and some of the places farther up the coast, and just brutal.
Well, I will tell you, because I know across the country you probably wouldn't have heard about it to the last minute, but this is the first time since I lived here, no one saw this coming. We had about 4 days.
Really?
It came up out of nowhere and then just came right at us. So I felt bad. People did not have a chance to prepare.
This global warming keeps up. They're just going to materialize like right in your garage.
Well, yeah, but by then Florida will be underwater anyway. So
yeah, that's a good point. Your property will become coastal property then. How nice for you.
So what's the highest point in Florida? How high above sea level?
Oh, good Lord, not much. I live near, my town's called Mount Dora. It's kind of a joke.
Everybody laughs when they say it.
Yeah. There are no mountains. There are no hills. I think the highest point is like 400 feet above sea level.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty staunch.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, for
the bulk of the interior is only 100 feet above.
right. If that.
If that, yeah. Some spots are below.
Or below sea level.
Mm-hmm.
It was fire there.
That's why they're saying we'll be underwater.
At some point, it's going to be a small island chain because there's just spots above it. So.
Yeah.
The Florida archipelago. Yeah,
Yes.
that'll be nice.
And Mount Dora will be one of those islands.
Mount Dora will be standing astride. It'll be Dora Island then. Yeah. Don, how was the
I'm not
con?
speaking
I
to you.
missed. Huh? Oh, come on! It's my fault.
Let's see. It wasn't your fault. You volunteered us to.
Whoa! We volunteered together.
Okay, Les volunteered us and then asked me if I was okay with it.
That's not how I recollect that at all. My recollection is you were so hot to kiss up to Tracy.
And then 3 weeks before the event, okay, I was trying to kiss up to Tracy. 3 weeks before the event, Les says, "Oh, I can't make it because it's my son's, first parents' weekend at college.
Yep.
So we have to go there." Okay, that's a good excuse. A week before the event, I'm not going, but I'm not coming to Archon either.
Well, you know why I wasn't coming? Because I'd already given my ticket to Luke.
You'd already sold your ticket to Luke.
Yeah. So I mean, that I couldn't go
Well, I
back
had to
on
run
that. What
around
was I
and
going
get
to
the
do? What
meat
was I
that
going to
we
do?
ordered and get the autograph for the book that you have.
I know
And
you did. It got
tell
the-
Tracy right away that you weren't going to your parent weekend.
You ratted me out like it was a bodily function.
Oh, it was great.
I was hoping that would just stay between us.
Yeah, right. That was going to stay between us.
So did you end up going back to the mead lady after the first initial buy or no?
Yeah, I got 2 more. I gave one to Betsy and Luke. One we kept.
Okay, cool. I'll go halvesies on you with it. That way you don't have to eat it. All right, cool.
So yeah, we have 5 bottles.
I thought you dropped a couple. Well, when you said drop it, I thought you drank a couple.
Well, yeah, I did that in quotes, but I didn't really do it. So.
Oh, I thought you did, because Tracy was like, well, so when I got the text so I reached out to Samantha, the mead lady, and I said, did you and Don hook up? Did he come to pick up the stuff? And she says, yes. However, she goes, I'm a little worried. And I said, what's the matter? And she goes, well, he seemed very much like the kind of guy who might drink it all himself. And I'm worried that you're not going to get your share of the mead. And I was like, well, yes, he does require adult supervision, but I trust him with this. She's like, okay, you should touch base with him as soon as possible. She was like cautioning me.
He has your mead.
He has your mead. He's don't let him tell you different. So I was like, okay, great.
Mead is really easy to make. It's just honey and water, basically.
And yeast, you still gotta ferment it. You don't have any bees, do you, Gordon, out there?
Natural yeast. If you just leave it open, it'll ferment itself. Honey and
Les,
water.
you remember when we brewed our own wine in high school?
I do.
I think it was in your locker.
Based off of my dad's rather pitiful recipe.
You
Well,
actually
we may be making your own mead soon, so.
you did it in school in a locker?
In a locker, yeah. It wasn't great.
It was awful.
I think we were all just like sick as dogs the next day, weren't we?
Yeah, there was a couple of good stuff.
It was not good. But I also, Don, wanted to ask you, how was DMing at this thing? Because of all the things, that's what I missed the most I wanted to do.
Well, that's the thing I was most nervous about because it was my first time DMing for a con, but it actually went great. The first day, only 2 guys had signed up, so I had them each run 2 characters.
Okay.
They finished the whole thing and had a good time. We're very complimentary.
Nice.
The second day, we had 6 people at the table, and I turned away one other guy that came by.
So I was trying to like horn in.
Well, he just asked if there was any room. He just came in 10 minutes late and said, "No, do you have any room?" I said, "No." 2 of the guys were the 2 older guys that we met last year.
Those same 2 knuckleheads?
The same 2 knuckleheads that,
Nice.
we're knuckleheads too.
Well, yeah, they refer to us as those other knuckleheads.
They do the Pathfinder Society stuff and DICON and that. Yeah, they were 2 of the guys that ran Saturdays.
Very cool. And everything went swimmingly? You guys finished?
It went well. We finished the whole thing. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to pick your brain in more detail on Friday when we see each other again.
Okay. And then I had a brief session this morning, just had the rule books out and people could come by and create second edition characters just to kind of learn about it and everything.
Did you get a lot of traffic on that, or?
Huh?
Did you get a lot of traffic?
I only had 1 guy show up for that other than Betsy and Luke.
Okay.
But he was there for about an hour and a half or so, and I answered his questions and
Nice.
people look at stuff. So, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, let me send out a reminder to Matt and Mike, who I haven't heard.
Okay. Yeah, I was able to play 1 session. It was the afternoon session today. It was Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah? How was it?
Based on Mass Effect. It was good. It was fun. Betsy and Luke joined me, and there was 2 other ladies that played, so the 5 of us ran an adventure. It was good.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, again, I apologize for not being able to go. I wanted to. I've been kicking myself all weekend. I've had to do chores instead of go to con with you. So I feel like the punishment fit the crime, at least partially. And I've gotten no less than 3 different messages on 3 different channels from Tracy saying that you are definitely her favorite.
Yes.
And I am completely out of the running until next year.
She did love the cooler.
Good. I'm glad. And she sent me a picture of the ice cream. That was one of the. Yeah, that was one of the Don is my favorite. That's what it is. Subject line in the email, Donna's my favorite, and the only thing in there was a picture of the ice cream. So you guys, the head of, because we're talking a lot of inside baseball here, the head of gaming for ArchCon, the convention here, the fall convention, is a woman named Tracy Hanners. And we met her last year, and of course, she was charmed by both of us completely.
Okay.
And so, this year, since we wanted to impress her and continue to be super charming, we have agreed to DM and all these other things. So, and kiss up to her real hard, like bring her ice cream.
We found out she loves Bunny Trail ice cream, so yeah. I brought her ice cream. Last year I threw candy at her all weekend long. This time I just gave her a bag.
He's not kidding. He has a giant tie-dye fishing vest with pockets. It's like a bag of holding. You can fit anything in this thing. He puts like 2 whole pounds of Werther's candies in it, like 2 bags, big giant bags. And all the thing. He's just like flicking them at people, that he knows. It's like, shoot, Werther's incoming. Boom, boom.
No less.
Yeah.
It also contains all our little vials of alcohol.
Yeah, no, that's true. It had what did we have last year? I brought the whiskey flask, and you had what, a half dozen of fireballs?
I brought a half dozen Fireball last year. I brought some of those this year too. So.
Yeah. Any? Did you just? How did that go? I mean, you just like whip them out, and just like suck them down.
But I enjoyed them.
Do you get like saucer eyes for people when you do that, or? I thought about getting one of those like suitcase martini sets where it holds the bottle and the shaker and the glasses all in one like thing, and just crack it open like it's an FBI evidence case, and just start shaking up a few martinis right there at the table.
So is anyone else joining us?
Matt said he's running behind. He will be here in 20. I did get an email earlier from Chuck who said he's running a little bit behind, but should be here any moment. No response from Mike. So I don't know where he's at.
We got a meager crowd tonight.
I know, and this is going to be a tough day because of all the stuff that went on last time. So first, I mean, the biggest thing is obviously the utter destruction of your reinforcement army at the hands of the Dretches and the other guys and the ghouls. So, hubris takes us all down eventually. Even, I knew that you guys thought you were untouchable, but I think the ghouls and the Dretches both showed that you were eminently touchable.
Well, paladins are okay.
Just like the accountant in that movie.
Freed prisoners are expendable, so.
That's what they're there for.
I'm glad your paladin's not here to hear these
I know.
decidedly anti-Crusader talk. So that was a tough loss, and now your guys are sort of camped out on the hill in the trenches. The snipers are still down. Most of them seem to be down in the southern area, and every once in a while a somebody will poke their head up out of the trenches, and they'll get a crossbow bolt over their heads to chase them back down. So very difficult, very difficult position, and nowhere near the resources that we had before. On the upside, got a lot more supplies. So you don't have to worry about feeding 200 extra mouths to feed anymore. So that's it's good. I mean, silver lining. The other thing is, you guys went to the Haunted Vault. I know there was a lot of talk, some in front of me, some behind me, about the possibility that this vault hid some sort of underground passageway, or perhaps secret way to get into Citadel Drezen secretly. But for all your searching, for all your hopes, it turned out not to be the case. And so you guys, after I did want to know, I'm assuming that you guys made your way back to Paradise Hill eventually, but I did want to know what, if anything, you decided to do. There's a lot of blood, and a lot of corpses around. It had been that creature, and you had, and honestly, you had never run into a creature like this before. It was obviously undead. It was obviously a creature that was comfortable eating ghouls, which is, frankly. The gastrointestinal fortitude of substance there. and had been sort of looting and destroying the bodies within the vault that were already there, but didn't look like it had been eating them. These bodies are pretty old, though. The bodies that were entombed there were pretty old, probably 5-6 decades. Probably not significant nutritional value for size. So what it had been doing was sort of destroying the bones, that kind of thing, opening up the tombs. Except for one tomb, which it didn't open, which you guys did, finding a crusader in there who still had armor, sword, and helmet, which radiated magic. But you guys were reluctant to take any of that away or anything like that. Certainly the magical stuff there wasn't necessarily of sufficient enough power to warrant what would obviously be a problematic alignment check. So my guess is that you guys left that material there. Hey, there's Chuck.
Howdy.
Well, I thought we were going to take it with us and ask the dwarves when they got here if that was okay.
You're going to take it with you and ask the dwarves when they get here?
We're going to borrow it.
Borrow it.
So you want to desecrate the tomb first, then ask for permission?
That's always the
You know what they say, desecrate first, ask permission. It's better to desecrate now than ask permission to desecrate later.
Well, I think if you desecrate the tomb and then ask permission, those 3,000 screaming dwarves might no longer be on our side.
Okay, so we don't desecrate it until after we ask them.
That would make more sense.
Remember,
And then we desecrate it regardless of their answer.
No, then we don't.
All right, so I'm assuming that you guys leave that material there. But
It sounds like we are.
seal up the tomb as you go so that no one else goes in there. The ghouls don't go in there. Although there's no ghouls anymore either. The ghouls are wiped out. So it's pretty much, this cemetery is barren. But
Just a bunch of dead people.
A bunch of, well, in a cemetery, imagine. Brings you to a point now where you guys have to start thinking about a couple of things. Know that help is on the way. You know that the queen has said, look, it's not just about getting the Sword of Valor anymore. It's about taking the Citadel. This is a unique opportunity. You guys have been doing a great job. She obviously doesn't know about yesterday's fiasco. But the orders have changed. The mission has changed. I mean, obviously you still need to recover the banner, but now you're in a position where you're thinking, how do we take the Citadel? Reinforcements are coming. But there's still, what did we say earlier? Of the and I screwed up. It wasn't Anivia Tirablade. It was Irabet is coming, not Anivia. Well, although Anivia may come with her. 8 days from now, Irabet and 200 Crusaders plus 100 service people are arriving. 3 days after that, 300 bloody-minded dwarves from the 8th Legion, 11th Cohort are coming here to basically retake the Citadel for the dwarves, and then 3 days after that, a supply train from Kenebris with Horgus Guerm at the chop will be arriving to take care of things. You've got the supplies that you need to hold out the whole 14 days, and you're assuming that both the dwarves and Irabet will be bringing supplies of their own. But you got to get in there and take the Citadel. And the problem is, you also think that whatever's coming up from the south. Because remember, that Vrak took off. Now, that's about a day and a half ago that you guys witnessed that Vrak take off and head south. You guys don't know where the Temple of the Ivory Labyrinth is, but when that Vrak delivers the message that, Staunton Vane needs help, they're going to be on the march. Now, you don't know how many or how fast, but...
I thought someone told us where that was. Didn't someone tell us where that Ivory Temple was?
They only told you that it was south and west of here. They're not sure how far or how deep into the whirlwind it goes.
Did we vote as a party that we want to take over the Citadel and accept the mission?
I don't know that there was a vote. Hey, Mike.
Hey. There was a comment made when most of the army got wiped out that our odds of taking it pretty much were nil at this point.
Well, now wait a second. There was also some commentary from your party summoner, who basically said, if I recall correctly, that the worry of having 100-man Dretch army pour out of the Citadel every day was not entirely accurate. They would have to have significant resources, and the summoner was basically saying, look, the summoning doesn't work that way. They would have to have far more resources than you think they have to actually be able to pull that off, which means that they might have wasted, if you look at the map and you see it says humans, tieflings, and dretches inside the Citadel grounds, it could be that those were the dretches that came out and augmented the ghouls.
And now they're gone.
And now they're gone, as well as the ghouls are gone. Frankly, you guys, except for sniper teams, basically have everything east and south of the Ahari riverbed up to the Ahari bridge. Now, that bridge in front of the Citadel is still held by Drzeni forces, but everything south of the riverbed, with the exception of the snipers, which have been harrying you, is not filled with Drezen guys. You've got them closed in on two sides.
Les, can you fill us in again on the yellow actual Citadel?
At the Citadel? All right, yeah. Let me get to it. So the Citadel, so the yellow circles, here, let me get to it. So the yellow circles, like here, here, and here, the oblong ones.
The ovals, okay, right.
The ovals are, they're like patios. I don't know what the term is from a castle, but basically they're open areas on the castle that are open to the sky. They have battlements in front of them, and on those three places, that's where there are ballistas and catapults. This is defensive, perimeter defenses for the Citadel. Very much like the watchtowers they have, which each has has some ballista guys and a catapult. There's ballistas and catapults on those areas as well on top of the Citadel. The same for the circles down by the gate, down at this end. Those circles represent areas that are open to the sky. One thinks that since they're smaller, they probably won't have catapults, but certainly those are areas that would probably have ballistas. Now, you don't have much intel on that right now, but you could certainly do some overflights and try and figure out what's on top of it. The only difference is the upper left-hand corner, which is it has a battlement, but that battlement circles around a tower that goes up 2 floors above the roof of the Citadel. It's differently shaped than everything else, the Citadel. The rest of it is sort of like symmetrical, except for that. That Citadel stands up 2 floors above the ceiling of the Citadel, higher than, now you don't know if it's an observation point. You don't think so because it seems to be facing the wrong direction, but it's certainly different from the rest of the Citadel.
Why is there 2 circles there? What does that represent?
Well, the larger circle represents the area where there's
the top.
there's a battlement, and then the smaller circle represents the area where the tower is, which is recessed from the edge of the Citadel a bit.
So I know you said that the 3 ovals seem to be possible access points. Does the tower have openings as well, or is it pretty much no windows?
I don't know that you guys have ever gone by there to take a look.
Baru's been in there looking around. So
He's been looking around? All right, so what Baru would tell you... So what Baru would tell you would be a couple of things. It's essentially 2 floors, right? So, but there's some damage to it, is what Baru would tell you. So the battlement looks fine, but the tower itself looks damaged. There's some pieces missing on the far side, the side that faces to the northwest. So there's pieces of the wall are missing in there. It goes up a couple of floors, and it has a flat roof that is open to the sky. So it's, there are theoretically what Baru would say is, provided you can either get to the battlements and take the battlement or fly. There are big holes in the tower, like castle wall. You can fly right into there. But you have to be able to fly. Now, what Baru would be able to tell you now is there's a fair amount of people on that battlement now. They seem to be on alert footing.
What's a fair amount?
Baru can't count. He's a rat. What did the bird always say? 100. There's 100.
300.
300.
Everything's 300. If it's
300.
more than one is 300 to a bird. So yeah, there's Baru would say more than one.
So guys, it does seem like we would prefer them to come out after us. Trick them into doing that.
Right.
I think we can do that.
Like I said, I would kind of go with my email, kind of hide some of our forces and let them think that they decimated us a little bit better than they did.
And then
hope
try to start some kind of a rumor that
come
says,
finish us off.
yeah, start a rumor that says there's urgency. So, because I don't want them sitting and waiting for those reinforcements from the Ivory Tower either.
Well, it's like we talked about before. Vane's got a couple of days of scooch room, he thinks, and if he can hold out long enough for the Ivory Labyrinth guys to show up, that's going to help his position. What he doesn't want to do is wait so long that his bosses, either in the south of the world wound or in the world wound itself, get wind that he has a problem here. It's like we talked about in that one email. His bosses are not the
forgiving type.
Yeah, forgiving or reasonable or at all nice. So they're not understanding about this kind of thing. So even the affront. I mean, it's like I said in the email. Him going to his bosses and say, yes, a paladin army came, but we destroyed them, is a much better story than him going to his boss and say, yeah, a paladin army came, so we waited for a long time for reinforcements to come in, and we lost several armies in the process. That's not nearly as good a story.
I think we need to switch to party activities now and basically let the army entrench. Maybe act weak, like you're saying, Mike. But I mean, I think we need to try to either get into that tower or get into something inside that building.
I would agree with that too. If we can cut the head off, and right now we don't have the resources to attack that tower and win, or attack the Citadel and win.
With the army, we need to try to weaken them somehow. I mean, either trying to get to the invisible guys or trying to get into the Citadel or something.
Well, I mean, you do know that the banner itself, the Sword of Valor itself, has some sort of powers. I mean, the legends always talk about how that a Crusader army that bore this flag into combat never lost.
Never lost, yeah.
So,
so yeah, if we can get in and
get that and bring it out, yeah. I mean, it could be a what do they call it in the military? Force multiplier.
Then it could give us the edge we need to actually be able to attack the Citadel.
Mm-hmm. Hey, is that Matt?
That's me. Can you hear me?
Hey, buddy.
What was that?
That was a crow.
All right. Now we got us a fair fight.
My 2 cents on it is we can't wait for the NPCs because what would be the point of being PCs? We're here to move and shake, and they're here to mop up the after effects. So whatever we're going to do, let's do something PC sneaky. Party sneaky, I should say.
So how many invisibilities do we have access to?
I think I've got 2.
Is that 2 period and you're done, or is that like 2 per day, or?
Well, I've got the spell invisibility, so I can do it once per day, but it's only a 5-minute spell, and I've got one. Let me check. I've got 1 scroll left with invisibility.
So you've got the ability to memorize just one of those per day?
No, it's a 2nd level spell, which I've got. Invisibility is, what is that? I can do 3. I can memorize 3 of them.
Okay.
I would not be able to do, like right now I've got, the resist energies and spider climbs.
Right.
But at this point it might be better just for me to memorize 3 of those.
I mean, with let's see, 5 minutes. Probably have to do the math, but I think with 5 minutes of invisibility, Storm could do a few ferries back and forth, ferrying people in there.
We go. Are we thinking it's in this tower?
No, but I'm hoping once we get in, then we move like the wind, and hopefully we go to it pretty quick. I'm pretty sure they're going to have signs on the inside. You know,
this way to Banner. Well, so the intelligence that you've gotten, at least from Queen Galfrey, was the idea that they have never used it, and you don't. That the general consensus, at least from prisoners and people that they've talked to, is that they just put it in a place somewhere and forgot about it. They've never used it in battle or anything like that. And as far as you can tell, they've never tried to destroy it or corrupt it yet. The guess is, at least for Queen Galfrey's intelligence officers, is that they just don't recognize its power because it doesn't work for them.
Right. How many ways is there into the Citadel from the ground forces outside? Is it just the front door and that's it?
Well, as far as the ground forces know, inside it's only way, but we think there's a couple of breaches like here.
Well, those God, I got the stupid answer machine's going off. It's bugging me. Sorry if I seem disconnected. Those battlements where the catapults and stuff are that have guys on them, those are obviously going to have doors and ways into the Citadel on the thing. There's a breach in that tower. Some of the wall is destroyed, so that's a way in. But yeah, from the point of view of the armies within the courtyard, that green line right here.
That front door is the only way in.
The front door is the way in. Now, here's the thing, though. You don't know. You don't know who else is left inside.
Right. I'm sure there's some left inside, but I just want to.
We do have spider climb too. I mean, I can do 5 people with spider climb. 5 minutes, and I mean, we can just climb the wall and go into, basically end up inside past the wall. But I don't know that that's going to be as good as flying up and getting into the citadels. But even, I mean, we can still just climb over the walls, past the general area, and over the walls into the citadel, and still do the same thing without flying.
True.
Are you going for the patios, or are you going for other patios?
For the tower.
Well, either, I mean, yeah, with spider climb, you can climb up, decide where you want to go.
My only question, the reason I asked that is because the watchtower will be watching just for that. Once we are not invisible anymore and call us out, are we better off to take the watchtower out? What's the highest point? I don't know. I think the watchtower is higher than everything else, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, the watchtower is watching the army and outside.
I think they'd get their ass kicked if they weren't watching the palace. I'm sure they're watching.
Possibly, yeah. But if we do it at night and if we climb over the wall, stealth, there's trees and stuff inside that inner courtyard.
Yeah.
It's possible we could basically stealth in, climb the citadel. I mean, if we climb up right here, I don't know, can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
If we climb up over that wall here, there's no watchtower over there. This watchtower is destroyed.
It's all good until we start taking people out on the watchtower.
So we've got cover here. We can just climb that wall, go into the courtyard, climb this wall, and.
But the courtyard's kind of full of a couple of armies.
It was originally, but I mean, I think they're all over here, aren't they now, Les? Isn't that what you said, that it's all centered on this big green oval?
Well, that's where they were pretty much camped out. Now they're spread out more within the thing, so they're a little bit more spread out. Before they realized that you guys were on Paradise Hill, that's primary where their camp was. But they're spread out more now.
They're on alert, so
yeah, and probably they've been used to. I mean, that when you initially did your when you guys initially did your reconnaissance flyover with Storm and Siggy. Those patios, the battlements, were not super populated, but now there's a lot more men on those patios. So you don't know if those men came from inside the Citadel or if they came from the inside the courtyard. Yeah, I mean, you're not sure. It could be a little of both. but it might be if they were pulling men from out of the courtyard to man the battlements, which does make a certain kind of sense. Those armies might be smaller.
What's taller, the watchtower or that strange circular tower with the 2-story extension?
The circular watchtower is taller. The watchtowers are the curtain wall is about 20 feet high. The watchtowers are about 15 feet higher than that, so they're 35. Then the citadel is sort of built up. So it's the citadel itself. It's built onto a big sort of rocky plateau. I mean, remember this is dwarven make, so it's dug into the bedrock. But it's higher. You suspect that this was originally some sort of mesa of some sort, a small mesa that the dwarves literally dug a citadel into. It's all stone. It's about, the front door is probably, it's a little higher than the curtain wall and ramps up. So the citadel itself, you can see it's probably the top of the circular tower is probably 50 feet in the air. So another 15, 20 feet above the height of the watchtowers.
And then the other patios are somewhere between that?
About the same level as the watchtowers. They really are. I mean, they can see. You can from the patios. You can see over the walls, but you can't really see over the watchtowers. In a large sense, those patios are not necessarily designed very well for outside of the wall attacks, although they can certainly lob stuff over the walls depending on how far they are. They're really more sort of for citadel defense, close-in defense, meaning within the courtyard.
Les, can Intel tell us in the back where the zombies came around or where the ghouls came around? Is that pretty much deserted right now?
There's nobody living back there. I mean, the town itself is a remnant of when the Citadel was in Crusader hands. This was originally they built the Citadel and then the town grew up around it. When the demons came and took it over, most of the people that lived in the town were either captured or killed. So a lot of these houses that you see all across here and areas are deserted. Now, in some cases, the tieflings and humans that have been associated with here have been living in certain of them. But honestly, right now, every army that had been living outside of the walls, you guys have destroyed. So the town itself is pretty much deserted.
And Mike, Storm can only do one at a time. Is that right?
Correct. Unless we
if we have ways to reduce their size or weight, she could probably do more, but that's about all she can carry is probably about 300 pounds
Hey, Les.
per trip.
In this protracted battle, I'm assuming it's kill or be killed. There's no such thing as like a parlay against demons, right? When you were paladins.
Yeah, generally not. I would think.
I was thinking about
no Christmas soccer game if that's what you're looking for.
Well, I'm doing more like luring the guy out to at least get a feel for what we're up against, and then two things. One, I could be happy to chat with him on the bridge on the Ahari bridge there, and while the rest of the team is making their commando strike on the banner. But
it's their chaotic evil, man. I mean, that would be super good.
I know.
I mean, yeah, it's possible. I mean, you got to think of what's in it for them.
Right, we have to expect to be betrayed. Well, they think we're here to take the Citadel, which we weren't originally. Now we are. So we could do what they expect. Well, so what would paladins who were planning to actually take the stupid Citadel do? They would either wait for reinforcements, which we're doing, or they could try to drive the demons out prior to. Just a thought. But I guess if it was like a a dwarf army or something, I totally see parlaying and see if we could worm our way in somehow, but not maybe in the.
It's not. Yeah, it's mostly humans and tieflings, and demons.
It'd put you too much at risk, Matt. I mean, you would die doing that. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I can see that. Plus, the only good tiefling is a dead tiefling. No, wait. Sorry. My paladin didn't say that.
I think if we do this at dark, we can use Storm to carry us one by one. If we can find somewhere that's Baru can look around in there. He can find somewhere that's fairly empty. I mean, he's in there already.
Yep.
We can find somewhere that's safe for a bit. We can get everybody in there, and then we can go to the next step.
Yep, I'm fine with that. We could have Geyer create some sort of ruckus to draw as many eyes to his position as possible, either with a improvised siege equipment or something else that would draw them to that wall away from where our target is.
So that the eyes of the people inside the Citadel are looking to the east, and you guys come in from the west.
That's right, like Gandalf on the third day.
And we do some kind of attack on this watchtower here. Yeah, that'll draw everybody that way, and then we can come in over here, basically.
Well, you do also have the sappers over here, which are still working too. They're trying to build that bridge. They're maybe a day and a half away from having something there. But at this point, they don't have any ghouls. You're not sure about the dretches. Your summoner says there's no way they're gonna be able to field another 100 dretches. Certainly not overnight. What army is going to come across there?
The 1 or 2 armies they got left.
That could be, yeah. I mean, if they're thinking about, Vane would have to be pretty desperate, though. You'd have to think that maybe he's not getting reinforcements from the south or what have you if he's going to try to do that. Or he may think that your numbers. I mean, he may think that your numbers are so debilitated. I mean, there's only 100 guys on Paradise Hill now. Out of 300, he destroyed 200, 2/3 of you. He may be preparing his guys as soon as that bridge is ready to just come across it.
Could be, but
distraction though. Regardless,
we wanted to consider a Citadel impregnable, that we wouldn't even consider us doing what we're planning to do.
To your mind, and I mean, you guys talk with Geyer a fair amount of this. Geyer's a military man, and he's done more than one siege, and he's thinking it's like we talked about before. These guys have not had a serious attack on this Citadel in 30 years. Suddenly, literally overnight, there's a paladin army dug in on a hill that was previously held by an army of demons. They sent guys out. They liberated the prisoners. Suddenly, there's a big army there. They sent ghouls and dretches out there to test your defenses and scored a pretty decent victory against a large portion of your army. That's going to embolden them, and it's certainly going to put him of mind the idea of you guys taking the Citadel is ludicrous. It's going to embolden him.
Plus, I'm going to have Baru. I'm going to tell him that we're searching for a safe spot, basically.
Okay.
Hey, Les, how much are these squares? These 100 feet?
100 feet, yeah. I know the green cones say 30-foot cone. I bought a thing. It's just the size of those things, but yeah, don't pay attention to those.
That was a climb roll, less for Baru to get up.
Okay.
And the next one, we're going to that Citadel.
Where is he going?
He's going to try to find somewhere safe on that level, like either
like on the roof
or on the plateaus. I assume Citadel Drezen has layers, and I mean it's a castle, right?
Not really. It's more of a fortress. So it has a couple of sort of small, what you would consider to be sort of decorative spires on the roof, but it really is more like a blockhouse above but it's a blockhouse built on top of a small like mesa. There's a big platform of stone that comes up out of the ground, upon which Citadel Drezen has been carved out of. Right? So imagine a mesa, and imagine a bunch of dwarves got there and decided to build a fortress out of it. So there's a roof, but other than a few like sort of decorative spikes and that kind of stuff, it's relatively flat. The platforms, the gun platforms are lower, except for the one tower which goes higher than the roof, the circle tower, but everything else sort of slopes down towards the Ahari Bridge, towards this gate.
Okay, so he's going to try to climb up to that flat roof area.
Okay.
He's going to focus first on this tower that's damaged already.
Okay.
He's going to try to find somewhere safe that we can pull in our party, 7 people or whatever it is, to hide until we get everybody there.
Okay, so like someplace inside the tower, perhaps?
either inside or on the roof or in a crushed area of that tower, somewhere that Storm can drop people off and have them set safely until we get everybody in.
Okay. So 25, Baru's a good climber. He can get up there. He gets up to the... Give me a stealth roll as well. For Baru. Ooh, okay. So Baru gets up on... Actually manages to climb up onto the battlement here, and using that excellent stealth roll, is not seen. What he sees basically is a ring of ballistas. So there's like a battlement, and then the tower goes up behind it. Sort of almost like I have it drawn here. Basically, he crawls around the battlements a little bit and counts more than one ballista and more than one person at each ballista, which is the best he could do from a number standpoint.
So it's dangerous. Okay.
There's basically there's lots of people here.
Basically, he's going to try to find somewhere safe, like I said, that we can get in 6-7 people.
Okay.
Until we get everybody in. So if that doesn't work, then he's going to start circling around and try to find somewhere with cover of darkness and, with Storm being stealthy, somewhere where we can land everybody and get positioned carefully.
He does manage to go in, and I assume you're monitoring. Are you looking through his eyes?
He's sending either danger or not danger, basically.
Okay. So he manages to get into a doorway, past a doorway, and it's sort of like walking around, and he smells a little bit of danger, but he goes up the stairs, and you're pretty sure he's going up into the stairs into the tower, but he gets a whiff of whatever's on the second floor, that on the next floor up of that tower, and he scuttles right back down. Whatever is on the battlement is much less scary than what's inside the tower. He's not sure about safe places, but he knows that inside that broken tower is not safe. Something in there smells weird and pissed off.
That's where I want to go.
He did not get up to the roof, however. Remember, that tower has a flat roof. So it's possible that there's nobody up there. What the vibe you get from Baru is that the smell of whatever's inside the tower sort of blocked out any smells that might be coming from the top of the tower. And he didn't go any further than that. It was too dangerous. I mean, you can encourage him to try and go for more, but I mean, it's up to you.
Can I do another climb check to try to get him to climb up higher?
Climb up on the outside of the tower, away from whatever it is he smells?
Yep.
Okay, let's do that. Climb check. $23, that's pretty good. Let me do a quick check of my own. Just a second here.
Need a stealth check too?
Yeah, potentially.
Same.
What is it? Which roll?
23, the same.
23 the same. Okay, so let me check. Perception. Where are you, buddy? Ooh, okay. All right. So Baru is able to. Baru would tell you that the place where there's the bad smell, the bad thing, is really wide open. He's able to sort of scuttle outside and climb back up the walls. He does get to the top of the tower, which he will tell you is empty. There's nothing up there, and it's flat.
All right, so that sounds like a potential spot to try.
Yeah. I mean, from your point of view, as Bardos, this is the information that you hope to get. This is the answer you'd hope to get, that there was a sort of isolated, empty place, but it's the roof of the tower, which makes difficulty of actually getting there.
Well, we can get there, and then I can cast communal spider climb to do the next phase. I mean, if we can fly in and get there using storm, then we can hopefully do something else to get down off of that roof without hurting ourselves too bad. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, potentially, yeah. I mean, you're not. I mean, theoretically, if this was the tallest place in the Citadel, there might be a way down from the roof already. I mean, you might not have to climb on the other side. There might be stairs.
This is the best plan we've had so far, at least in terms of a location to start on.
All right.
We
So
face worse odds.
yeah, where should we start with storm? How far do you think we can get? Like
That's what I'm doing some math here real quick. I think from what I figured out, shut up, stupid sheet.
And Gordon, give me a perception check when you get a moment.
If I hit storm it with enlarge, she can carry almost double.
That's 600 pounds?
600 pounds.
But it makes her a lot bigger.
Well, if she's invisible, it doesn't matter how big she is.
That's a good point.
So you could probably get away with one invisibility. And with that one invisibility, looking at her speed, she can basically make 5 one-way journeys to the Citadel. So basically that would get her from us to the Citadel, back, and then to the Citadel a second time, back, and to the Citadel a third time, and then invisibility wears off. And actually, my enlarge would wear off at the same time. That can get 6 people there. We've got a party of 7.
okay, and I think maybe I don't know where Jennifer is. I think she's got some way to float or something. I can just make her invisible. Hey, Jennifer.
Yeah, that cloud thing. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, if she can float, it doesn't weigh anything. Well, you'll have to cast invisibility on her too.
She's got a levitate.
That scale.
She has
That scale.
but is it
70 feet.
so? Levitate's not necessarily a good way for moving, but.
But no, here's the thing: she's not going to add weight though to one of Storm's
so
trips.
Hang on.
She can just have a rope and just have him pull a weightless, something weightless. The only thing is my my thing of having her be invisible is the fact that, according to the rules, anything in your possession is invisible as well. So literally, if we put people in a bag or something like that that's in her possession, they're invisible for the trip over until she drops them off, and then they become visible.
Did you already give him the weight, though?
So how long? Here's a question: how long does enlarge last?
The exact same time as invisibility lasts, 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. And what's her speed?
I already did all this.
You did the math? Okay, I was going to say.
It basically takes her 8 rounds to make a single trip.
8 rounds.
So I'm assuming 8 rounds there, a round to drop someone off, 8 rounds back. She basically, if she can pick people up pretty much instantly, she'll have about a half a minute to spare with this when this is all said and done.
Can we bring Otto, too? I don't have a weight on him. I could look it up, but I'm going to guess he's around 120, 150 pounds.
I was guessing 2 people per trip because I've got 600 pounds. If we've got a pair that is much less than 600 pounds, they can share.
Only about 170 and lightly armored. And I'm betting
it's going to be you and your gear.
Yeah, but I've only got like light armor and a sword. That won't bring anything else.
Yeah, Bardos is not that heavy. Let me see what he's got.
So it might be
Not
just
that big.
Gordon, I sent you a message when you get a moment, too.
Yeah, I saw it. Bardos is probably 180 pounds, 180.
Yeah, I'm wearing half plate or whatever. So or full
You're
plate.
heavy.
Yeah, probably heavy.
I'm the heaviest dude here.
I mean, Ilandar's pretty light, so he could ride along with someone who's pretty heavy. That way, to kind of counter that.
Or do you do 2 heavy, because that's 300 pounds each, 2 heavy at a time, but then take 3 lighter together?
If you can do that too, we just need to make the math work.
Yeah.
It doesn't say levitating if I can carry anything. Do you know, Les, with that silver scale?
You mean like, well, you can carry whatever you have on you. I mean, so like your equipment and gear and armor and weapons, that's fine. Do you mean like if you were to like grab Otto, 120 pounds of Otto, and just sort of like hold him, and while you levitate, that might be a little bit more difficult. You could probably levitate, but it would probably slow you down as far as moving.
Well, she wouldn't slow down. It's just she's worried about if she can make herself levitate, so she's effectively weightless. Then she can just put a rope on Storm for one of the Storm strips. And
yeah,
it wouldn't add any weight to Storm. It's just pulling someone who's levitating.
Yeah, if you wanted to hold, you could hold Otto. You could do that.
I can hold other people's gear, too. I mean, I'm just saying, just to reduce some weight, I don't know what that silver scale can handle.
Probably about twice your weight, probably 300 to 400 pounds. Total.
I'm weigh 130. I mean, my gear's probably 50 pounds.
You are at 47 pounds.
The pounds, good estimate. So 180.
Yeah.
So if that's true, Les, then I got room for a 120-pound cap.
Yeah, I think so.
I love that my phone keeps getting breaking news that Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson split. Thanks, New York Times and Washington Post. Like, is it alert? Are we under attack? No.
So me and my gear weigh 160.
Wow. Okay. Don's part of the light group.
Yeah. So we could probably do like 3 of us.
I was going to say, Ilandar is 30 plus. Ilandar's right about 200 with all of his gear, him and all of his gear.
So there's another conundrum here. Baru is telling me caution that there's something up here that's just being probably on watch. So whoever we bring first.
So the first group needs to be the militant or the welcoming party, so to speak.
Well, but there's also some very bad smell on the ground, on the floor underneath it, and the windows are open. So you got to start thinking about noise.
Right.
I figured that Storm can get you in there quietly, but once you, I mean, it depends on if you want to, if you start like having a pitched battle on the roof of this thing, that's going to wake some people up. Because only
last time we were going to do this, I think Lothar was going to cast Silence.
Okay. That would be an excellent idea, in my opinion.
At least till we get inside. Then when we get inside, they're going to eventually know because there's going to be a fight.
Yeah, this Baru said that on the floor below, in the space below the roof, is some very bad smell. Something that Baru wanted to get away from quickly. But then there's also the more than one guys out on the battlements. You know how many guys are out there? Could be a lot. It might be worthwhile to do another reconnaissance mission before you start bucket brigading people over to the roof. I mean, it's up to you guys, though.
What time of day is it, Les?
It's late, sort of mid to late afternoon.
Okay, so we're going to try to do this at night anyway, right? So we got time. We can try to do some recon. little more.
What are our other options? What are we thinking about? Like taking out the watchtowers or something?
Well, there's the Ahari Bridge, which is manned. It's the last bridge, the last intact bridge over the Ahari Riverbed, and it's right in front of there. If those humans and tiefling armies that are in the courtyard right now come out to attack you, they're going to come out across that bridge, unless they wait a couple of days or a day and a half, and that northern bridge gets fixed. Nobody has bothered those guys yet. I mean, other than a couple of arrow shots, they're just too far away.
What if we were to start a distraction down at that bridge, like we were trying to take it, which would be believable, which would pull some of the army out of the Citadel area, I would think.
Do we want to do the functioning bridge or the broken bridge, though? That's the
whatever they're more likely to protect, I guess.
Geyer's engineers tell you that broken bridge in the north is not going to be ready for another day and a half. Tonight and all day tomorrow. It'll be the day after tomorrow before that thing's at all workable, that you could bring an army across.
But if we attack that, is it still going to send the humans and tieflings down the Ahari Bridge, right? Or is it? But
I would think.
How would they defend that? Would they? I mean, there's only one way out of the Citadel, right? From the southern or from the
through the main gates down to the south. Yeah, that's where the dretches came out of. But then they went all the way around. Well, no, the dretches came down to the south, crossed the Ahari Bridge, and then came up from the south through South Bank under the cover of the snipers, which are down in the southern area. The ghouls crossed the Ahari to the north, went through North Bank and came around, and then went through the Ahari Riverbed. They actually came in and out, which slowed them down, but it didn't. They did essentially a pincher movement. They avoided the northern bridge, but that was a small undead army. It was a mob.
Which army can they see real well right now? Like, which army are they aware of and thinks is stronger?
We only have one army now. I mean,
yeah, you guys only have one army.
So the people that we freed are back with us up on the hill?
They're dead.
The people that you freed are all
people
dead.
are dead.
All dead.
They lost, yeah, against the dretches.
But then we avenged them.
Let's roll a couple of 20s.
I did.
I think that they would protect that Ahari Bridge faster than the broken one, seeing it more as a threat.
Well, there are troops on there, but it's not an army.
Actually,
just a thought to
back to the previous note, carrying people over, weight's not an issue. I miscalculated, and Storm can do almost 800 in a trip, not 600.
Oh, we're all set then.
So that's 3 guys per trip.
That's an extra gato every trip.
So he could be on every
That's how I like to measure stuff. How many gatos
get some frequent flyer miles?
Is that him normally, or is that him enlarged?
It's
That's
large.
large. He can do that, or she can do that.
That's what I was wondering. Thanks.
Yeah, large itself gives her some extra she can carry, and then the extra strength you get from being enlarged gives a little bit as well.
All right, so let's you've done the math here. So enlarging lasts for 5 minutes. You enlarge her,
and invisibility both last for 5 minutes.
Okay, so you enlarge invisibility at the same time. Everybody piles on. The first run, you said it takes 8 rounds for her to get from Paradise Hill to the Citadel?
Yep, to the middle of the Citadel, yeah.
So before we do this, did we decide on a distraction? Are we going to do the broken bridge with the army to try to draw the eye or the attention? Or the Ahari Bridge? Are we going to do something? Or are we just going to try to sneak in when it's dark?
Well, pulling your army off of Paradise Hill is you're gonna
idea.
Well, I don't know that it's a bad idea, but it's certainly gonna you've got at least 3 and maybe more sniper teams to the south. Now these sniper teams were able to enhance the ability of the dretches to get in there. They caused extra damage. Theoretically, they could support the tieflings and dretches to the north that are trying to put that. Because remember, it's a smaller army to the north trying to fix the north bridge, sappers. But they've got some cover. It's tieflings and dretches, basically.
Isn't there a way, Les, to do this army as a guerrilla? I mean, you said he was interested in guerrilla tactics. How do we do that with this army to basically try to harass that watchtower or the bridge being repaired?
The guerrilla would probably be us.
Yeah, well,
Army.
yeah, 100 paladins is going to be hard to do. Guerrillas is more like you guys, kind of flowing in there and getting them. But I mean, you could certainly do that. What from a mechanic standpoint, what would happen is there would be you guys would essentially, the paladins would leave Paradise Hill, run down to the bridge, attack the army there. That army would get sniper support from the south, which would harass you guys as you came out and add damage should they do it. But you could, and then essentially you go down there, either win or lose, and then return to Paradise Hill. Yeah, from a mechanic standpoint, any army at Northbridge would get sniper support from the south. Sniper support, just so you know, adds 2 points of damage. In the event that an army hits an opposing army, that army that has sniper support gets an additional 2 points of damage on top of that, which is the snipers taking people out.
How many snipers are we talking about?
At least 3 teams, at least if your intelligence from the Dretch attack is any indication. Maybe more. And Baru saw those teams being deployed now at the front of the Citadel yesterday. And being deployed meaning they were talking with somebody who was dressed like a sorcerer. So your thought is, as you kind of put it together, is that these sniper teams got invisibled, which allowed them to get into position without being seen. Now they're probably visible, but they're also under probably great cover. And you're not sure where they are. They did, what you know is that they supported the southern army of Dretches rather than the northern army of ghouls, at least in the last battle. And they were pretty effective.
Not a ton of cover. It seems like we could figure that out if we wanted to.
Well,
There's a lot of old houses and villages and stuff. I mean, it's like a village.
I thought they were down in the south. They're all up in there.
They could be anywhere.
So do we not want to do a distraction? We want to just try to get in there without worrying about that? Wait till dark and do that?
I don't know. It'd be nice to do it with the armies not there, but
We like the
I don't want to wait just in case that doesn't happen.
Hey, Les, for sake's argument, how would the Queen's armies coordinate with each other from a distance? Would they use horns or like drums or?
It would depend on the army, and it would depend on the resources. So remember that the crusading armies are made up of two separate kind of groups, right? So you have essentially Queen Galfrey, who is the boss of the Mendevian army. Mendev being the country that borders the world. Right. That her army is basically Mendevian soldiers in Mendevian ranks. They would probably communicate. They're analogous to probably like a British army, or a like a Polish army. They would probably in the medieval times they would probably use a combination of horns and smokes to contact each other. Perhaps flag some sort of semaphore to communicate with each other. The other side of that is the Crusader army, which is nominally under the command of Queen Galfrey, but they're sort of their own thing. And this is more akin to like what we would say Renaissance era Italian condottieri, right? So you'd have these guys, you have all these like little fart-ass wars picking up here and there. And what you would have is these Italian captains, ex-military, some of them just adventurers, who would gather together 50 guys, 100 guys into a company, and they would sell the services of that company to whoever was buying. You know, usually it was various kinds of city-state kind of wars that would go on in Italy. In this case, it's a crusade, so it has some analogy to the actual crusades, where you had groups say you were a British nobleman, a knight, you would levy 50 guys from your territory, various kinds of soldiers or freemen who would be able to provide their own weapons. You saddle up and gather up money from the surrounding area, probably a tax, and you saddle up and you go to where the crusade was, joining whatever armies were there. Now, the command structures were a little different, but if you keep in mind a feudal style, these guys, that British knight is beholden to an English lord, who's beholden to the English king, who's going to have a gathering of these kind of things. So yeah, I mean, the Crusaders are nominally under Queen Galfrey's command, but they have a lot of latitude.
Okay, the question that was an amazing essay. The question,
Sorry, that wasn't the question.
How would they communicate at a distance with each other? Like if they were, you said semaphore and maybe horns. So here's my thought.
Well, it depends on the distance. If we're talking about a mile or 2 miles, like before a battle, you're talking about semaphore, horns, smokes. If you're talking about 20, 30, 100 miles, you're talking about either cavalry messengers or some sort of, if it was really important and they had the resources, some sort of magically enhanced, maybe teleports. You would send messengers.
Okay. Well,
birds too, hawks or pigeons.
So yeah, that would be what. So here's my thought: would we have some noise makers in the Paladin army or in the bodies of our esteemed colleagues here that we could set out a couple scout teams from 2 different directions where we don't want the demons to be looking, or where we do want the demons to be looking, not the direction where we want to come from, and make a noise, making them think that the armies, which will eventually draw close to them, are already here. That they're
light some fires, you mean, that kind of thing?
Light some fires, maybe blow a couple horns. So basically, not low risk to our guys. Send out some, our scouts, which do this for a living, and then do a couple fires and some horns in 2 different directions. Make them think that armies are getting closer, so that they're all on high alert, looking at those walls where we strike from the wall we want. While their scoped sniper guys will definitely be looking in those directions, looking for the banners coming up over the horizon.
Gotcha. So you send some guys off to the east because that's where the direction from which support would come. Right. They start a few fires to make sure that the bottoms of the clouds are lit up, so that there's that. They do a couple of horns. Basically, it's what the Russians would call a maskarova.
Yes,
I got it. All right. Yeah, I think that's not a bad plan at all. I think it's not terrible.
I talked to Geyer just to see we break out some equipment to make this happen, because as they're probing the horizons looking for the armies that are on their way, then we'll make our strike.
Yeah, it certainly would be a provocation, and it would certainly not only would it draw the eyes of the snipers, but at that point, if Vane is getting intelligence from his guys, from his forward observers, saying, "We see lights, we hear horns, maybe this isn't a diversion after all," then he's got a decision to make.
Right. When we got here, we had 1 primary objective, and now they've essentially saddled us with 3. We have to capture Vane alive, we have to get the banner, and we have to take it toward the Citadel. Yeah. So they've added two new objectives to us. So I think we should prioritize Banner, Vane, and Citadel in that order.
Typical government job.
Exactly. So still go after the banner, and then if we happen to get a bonus Vane in pick him up during our raid, awesome. If not, we'll wait for the armies to arrive
Well, Vane's in the Citadel. Yeah, I mean, he could be locked up. I mean, you don't know what they're thinking. If the provocation works and for whatever reason the remaining humans and tieflings come out to fight and attack Paradise Hill and are destroyed, Vane's going to be in a very bad position.
Yeah, and I would tell Geyer to expect the attack, and then the PC is going to do the party, the FUP is going to do our raid.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I have it square in my mind. So you guys are going to send some paladins eastward from Paradise Hill to conduct the Masquerova. Basically, light some houses and stuff on fire to make it look like that there are a lot of torches heading this way. Sound some horns, things like that. Basically, try and pretend to be a larger supporting army headed west.
Yeah. Anybody have a problem with that plan? I was just talking it through without.
No, I like it. If we can sucker them into some kind of ill-planned attack, that would be beneficial.
Yeah.
And unless if you could fumble a few times, we'd appreciate that as well.
I'll do my best.
No more double 20s.
Well, I mean, if your paladin army gets destroyed, that's going to be trouble, because then you guys are out there without any support.
I stepped away for a second. What's this plan?
we're sending a small team of scouts to head to the east to make it look like a large reinforcement is coming, to draw the eyes of the guys on the walls, but specifically the sniper teams, because he'd want his best guys with glasses up there trying to see the banners coming over the horizon to see what he's facing. We know there's nothing coming, but while he's looking that way, we're going to strike from the opposite direction for our raid. And I say we prioritize our 3 objectives now: banner first, then Vane if we happen to capture him during the raid, and then Citadel. If we think we can take the Citadel during the raid, awesome. If not, we back off with our whatever we got and wait for reinforcements.
So does this involve pulling the army off the hill?
Nope. I basically told him to expect an attack. Maybe they'll do something stupid like come out and raid, thinking that the other army is going to be here soon, so they gotta push the paladins off the hill.
All right, so Geyer has a question. What are his orders if you guys don't come back?
Wait, what?
Good question. Solid question.
Full frontal attack.
Seppuku.
Well, I mean, is that his orders? I mean, what, so what if, all right, so night is coming, assuming that sometime after sunset, when night has fallen, you guys send out the guys to the east, they try and put together this fakeroonie to see what they can do to get the remaining armies inside of the walls to respond. Maybe they respond, maybe they don't. Then you guys are using that period to move into the Citadel to try and either cut. Basically, it's a cut the head off the snake operation, right?
Right.
All the leadership is inside the Citadel. If you can kill them, that's going to make the army's job a lot easier. But what he's asking is, what happens to us, meaning the Paladin army, if you guys go into the Citadel and are killed, and we never see you again? What are his orders?
Hold Paradise Hill until the dwarves and the other stuff from the Queen's coming.
Yeah,
Wait for reinforcement.
As the chief paladin here, I would read.
I would avenge us.
I would say.
New guy's only one voting for him. He's just been here since the temple. Avenge us, Gaia.
Yeah, it's Geyer.
By Rab Thor's hammer for the sons of Rabat.
All right. So his orders are, if you guys don't come back, he's just basically
dig in and wait and hold it until reinforcements get here.
Okay.
Hold it at any cost.
And you tell him about the reinforcements and everything. Well, he was there when the guy talked about it, the elf ranger talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If those are my orders, that shall be done.
Just want to make sure we all the, like in your descriptive letter today, you were talking about the bodies of our comrades lying around everywhere. Pretty sure we buried everybody that needed to be buried, or at least make sure they're going to rise as the dead tonight, right?
Well, there was a lot of, I mean, remember you're under sniper fire too. So you guys are in trenches on the top of a hill, but every once in a while, a well-aimed crossbow bolt comes wicking across the ground about 6 inches off the ground. And those sniper teams are still out there, and they're basically keeping you. I mean, you guys can get some of the bodies and you pull them back into the trenches and take them out back and bury them as much as you can. Some of them had to stay because of ghoul fever, but
that's fine. I just want to make sure that we're not going to be facing an army of the dead tonight. So whatever we had to do to minimize our paladins who fought in this land would know what to do.
You've had to bless a few bodies because of incipient ghoul fever, but
I thought we were burning all of them. That way we didn't have to worry about it.
Well, I mean, you got.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought we burned them all last time. But in your note,
you guys were able to burn them all. It's possible. I mean, you probably burned some of them, dragged some of them, killed some of them. There's still a few out there, just as a reminder of your failure. But
we burn them downwind of the army. That's got to get like a nausea, sickened effect.
If we made friends with that weird undead thing, he would have fed them all to him. But alas.
But yeah, I mean, there'll be time for civil treatment of the remaining dead when the game is won.
Okay, so that's we've got our diversions going. What's the plan for the attack of the mighty Fup?
So my understanding is that you will
I heard
enlarge
three.
an invisible storm at the same time. Storm can carry up to 3 people per trip. It's got 5 minutes. It takes a little less than a minute to get to the roof of the tower, which means he gets what, like 2 trips?
Basically, it's 3.
Well,
She
he's
has
got to go
5.
back too. Remember?
She has five total trips. So since she's starting with us, that basically
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotcha. Okay, so 3. Yeah, 3
three,
backs.
3 ferries over, and then she's done over there.
Yeah, because she'll stay with you.
Does she have room for any NPCs we could have as cannon fodder? I mean, valued colleagues.
What? That's very paladin of you.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, did you say cannon fodder?
red shirted paladins.
Oh, I mean, well, what do you got? What do you got in mind?
No, just wonder if counting these trips. I don't think we don't have 5 trips worth of people here. So
Oh, well, we only do 3 deliveries, so
got
that
it. Okay.
9, which with Otto is 8. So
Yeah, the second and fourth trips are return trips back to Paradise Hill to pick up more people.
Got it. Okay. I retract my statement.
of human armor, basically.
Red shirted paladins. That's
Red shirts.
Hey, go look behind that rock. We'll stand it here.
All right. And so what about what Baru has told Bardos recently about there potentially being someone on the roof?
so silence spell so we can kill.
So how long does silent last?
Rounds, I believe.
Chuck, do you have silent?
Are you kidding?
I think he's got one himself.
I've been using it all this time.
That's just the mute button. That's not a silent spell.
Hang on, the web page is, for whatever reason, reloading, and I'll be able to tell you the duration for the spell. Also, the spell can be cast on an item, just like light. It's 1 round per level.
So 5 rounds, 30 seconds. So you're going to want to cast it.
It still means that you're going to be on the first trip over.
Yeah, right before landing.
And I could cast it on a stone or a coin or something like that. And it would make it silent in a 20-foot radius.
Okay.
For 5 rounds. Which
Can you
means
recommend the other 2 be Matt and I?
Yeah, so whoever is coming over with me needs to be able to kill something in less than 5 rounds.
I can kill something in less than 5 rounds.
So I got Fletcher.
We brought a Fletcher.
We're gonna have a Lord of the Rings countdown on death here.
They have a cave troll.
So first 3 is Lothar, Fletcher, and Flashheart.
Okay.
Who's the second 3?
They'll probably be the next 2. Unless you want to try in 3 again. And then the last one. I don't care where I go.
Is there any reason why Farina couldn't shoot arrows as she's traveling with her levitate?
I thought she was going to have the lap.
You're going to have Otto with you. I guess he's going to be on the cloud, though. You wouldn't necessarily be holding him.
Your invisibility, would be gone too. So.
Oh yeah, it would invalidate Storm's invisibility because of
probably the last.
Yeah, you got to be delivered. You got a D-Day in there, and then.
I'm probably the last delivery then.
Remind me, we're all going to be spider climbed up, right?
No, we're flying. Storm's going to drop us in.
No. I mean, like we should.
Yeah, 101st.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's say it all goes south. We need a way off the tower. Can we be spider climbed, mass spider climbed? I think you mentioned that, or at least some of us, so we can get off the tower if needed.
We can do that, but that's 5 minutes too, so I wouldn't necessarily want to cast that on all of you.
Okay.
But if things go haywire, we got that as a backup.
Okay, that sounds good. I want to make sure that
the backup plan is if everything goes to shit, get close to Bardos and he'll cast.
Yeah, like there's a invisible Balrog sword.
Plan B.
Right.
B for Bardos.
Or get close to Lothar and get a heal spell.
Okay, who's going to the first run?
Fletcher, Flashheart, and Lothar.
Okay.
And we are doing this in dark, right?
Yep. Or, well, that's up to you guys. You can wait till morning if you want.
You're going to be
In the midnight hour.
Yep.
All right, cool. And then the second one would be everybody else, right? All right, so here's the fun part. You got silence for 5 rounds after Storm. So Storm basically is going to fly you guys in, invisibly enlarged, land on the roof. You guys dismount. Storm takes off back for another round, leaving the 3 of you on the roof, silent. And I'm assuming
Basically, yeah. As soon as they dismount, they're all visible.
Right, they'll all be visible. But Lothar will cast silence, and then you guys will take out whatever, or try to take out whatever might be waiting for you there. But it will be, did you say it was 6 rounds to fly from the Citadel to Paradise Hill or back?
8.
8 rounds. So yeah, so it'll be after Storm drops you, it's 16 rounds.
It's probably 17 or 18 because she's got to get there and she's got to
drop. Yeah, jump. So yeah,
load people up and all that.
Yeah, so it's it's a minute, more than a minute. So a minute and a half. 17 rounds.
We'll most likely be doing this combat on our own.
Yeah, if there's any. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the rest of them can get by there in 17. Get back. I don't think you can. It'll be resolved in 16 rounds.
Just the way we like it, Fletcher.
Yeah, it'll be resolved.
One of us rolling natty 20s, one of us rolling failures.
Yeah, roll. As long as we're feeding each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, we good?
Okay. Yeah, and Gordon, I'm casting it.
Okay. How
All right.
about
So Mike, when you did your math, did you take into account that Storm will have to make a loop? You can't fly over the top of the Citadel and drop. It's not a straight line, right? Or is it?
Well, she's
I just
invisible.
counted the squares.
Oh, she's going to be invisible. Okay, never mind. She's going to be invisible, so that's fine. You can do that. You don't have to worry about people seeing you because you're invisible.
Bardos is casting invisibility? Mike, is that right?
Yep,
Okay.
Who's casting enlarge?
I am.
Okay.
So I've marked it off.
Okay. And it's off. All right. So Geyer sends out his scout teams to the east. You guys wait. It takes about a half an hour to an hour. It's probably 8 or 9 o'clock at night when you start to see evidence of fires in the east. And you hear from the distance, that kind of thing. You're not sure if the snipers are paying attention to that, but the scout teams have really sort of done their jobs. They are making a lot of noise and causing a lot of ruckus off to the east.
Hooray!
You guys wait another half hour or so, cast the spells, and take off. Riding invisibly on Storm's back, Flashhearts, Lothar, and Fletcher. Lothar, you begin to see the walls of the Citadel coming to view. You see the patios where there are large torches and guys with scopes and looking forward there and crowds of people on the thing. As you guys come up from behind, over the top of the Citadel, you can't help but be impressed by the dwarven architecture. This was a really grandly done place. It's like, this is very nice. But as you know, Flashheart claps you on the shoulder and knocks you out of your reverie as you look at the thing and says, 10 seconds, as Storm begins to dive towards the thing. We're going to need to dismount quickly. Get the spell ready. And Lothar, so you start doing the spell.
Do you have your exit buddy?
I was
see Flashheart like,
I was thinking like Die Hard, like just like Vietnam, right, buddy? I was in middle school, dickhead.
No, it's not like Vietnam. There are rules. All right, and then Flashheart not Flashheart, but Storm lands on the thing, skids sideways a little bit. You guys untangle yourself from the ropes that you thread around here and jump to the thing, and you see Storm immediately. You hear her claws kind of like scrabbling on the stone.
Actually, they don't see that. They hear that though.
They would hear it, and you guys become visible. And hold on a second.
Haru will do his best to guide them to the guy that's up there.
Let's go down to the bottom. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I can't see. We have to make it so everybody can see. Un momento, por favor. All right. Can we? Can everybody see now where we are?
Nope.
Hold on.
Unless it's very dark.
Hold on a second. There we go. How about now?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see.
All right. You're on the roof of this tower. The tower, although exquisitely built, has fallen a bit into ruin. There are battlements. This is obviously more than anything an observation tower. And you see one. You guys hop off of Storm. You're silenced, and the first thing, and you kind of look around, and the first thing you see is what looks to be a tiefling sitting with his back against that stone there, whose eyes become saucers when he sees you guys just materialize out of everything, and he starts scrambling for his glaive. Where's my glaive? Which is lying on the ground next to him. He begins scrambling for his glaive. You guys get a surprise round, and a hell of a surprise round. What do you guys do? Now, you are silenced. But basically, what you're on is a flat surface, those stone areas where you can see sort of the block vision are sort of battlements that extend up, much like the rook in chess. You know how there's that sunken area and then the big battlements that come up. That's what this is. He was just sitting back against one, probably having a little snooze or dozing a little bit. You can see the remnants of some iron rations on the ground next to him. A small water skin is there. He did not expect to be disturbed.
Now, Les, I'm not there, but this glaive that the tiefling has is not normal size, correct?
What do you mean not normal size?
Well, how big is the tiefling?
He's medium.
Okay.
So he's not a giant or anything.
Oh, I was thinking he was smaller.
No, he's medium sized, about 6.5 feet tall. So standard size glaive.
I'm sorry.
But it does look to be masterwork. But
Tiefling is 6.5 feet tall. I thought they were like 4 feet tall.
No, tieflings are just a combination of demon and human. They come in all kinds of flavors.
All right.
So attack.
Surprise round. You guys have the initiative. You guys have the advantage.
Can you put a 20-foot radius on me, please?
You betcha.
Hey, to Fletcher, I give you the nod. Say, this one's yours. You go to I'll go to the left. You go to the right. To Lothar, I say, stay within 15 feet of us and stay away from those stairs, please.
All you see is Flashheart's lips moving because of the silence.
Because we can't hear anything.
Yeah, remember, you don't say anything. So.
Nobody needs to tell me
like
to
this.
attack.
Wait, some of you guys go to the flashback where I tell you in the eye semaphore how we're going to do this plan.
An eye semaphore. It's like, what is he? He's communicating via eyebrow wagging, you know.
Yeah. Wink, wink, blink, wink,
Yeah.
wink, blink.
Winking and wiggling his eyebrows. Perfect. All right, so Fletcher, you run over there. Movement action. I'm assuming you're going to take a slash at this guy who is effectively prone. He was sitting down on the ground.
I'll be there. Oh, wait, I gotta wait for his turn. Sorry.
Yep. Here's my attack.
Okay. Ooh, geez Louise. That is going to hit.
Trying to spray gore over the edge.
That is going to hurt.
Oh, 22 points. Let me double check him. How? Okay, sorry, he moved there. All right, your greatsword just slashes into him. He gets his hands up just in time. He's like, "Oh no!" And then, just like takes the blade and his forearms and crushes into his shoulder and stuff like that. And he lets out. You can see his mouth, but it's silent because Lothar has moved closer to silence the man. He is grievously injured.
How is this thing plus 18? Good lord, good job.
Yeah, he's tough. All right, but he's still alive. He's bleeding profusely. He's crawling away from you, reaching for his glaive, which he's scrambling up. And he's trying to get to his feet as Flashheart rolls up. Yeah. Lothar, are you going to join in the fun?
No, my job was to get close enough that no one could hear him scream.
Okay.
In Lothar, no one can hear you scream.
Oh, roll that one again, Flashheart. No! Oh, he missed out. All right, so just a miss. Look at that. High highs and low lows for Flashheart. Flashheart, you come with radiance and go right. He ducks down, and it hits that stone behind him, chipping the stone away. And it's like hitting a pole with a baseball bat. You're just like kind of a little bit as you pull back.
Speaking of radiance,
silently.
You're speaking of radiance. You said I can make her blaze on command, and I'm not making her blaze on command. She's as dark as the.
Keeping her dark. Okay, good. Lothar, it comes to you, perhaps.
Well, no, we've all acted at this point, so the surprise round should be over, right? Initiative?
Yes, yeah. Now we have to roll for initiative.
Any buffs?
All right, let's see.
Buffs. And crappy roll for Fletcher, as usual, on initiative.
Flash 9.
He likes to go last.
Flash 6. This is great.
Clean up.
And Lothar 15. 9. Let's do it this way. Where is that guy?
This is why Fletcher and I are usually hanging out in the middle of the pack waiting for everybody else to do their stuff before we attack.
We want to give everybody a chance.
Fair is fair. I admire your sense of fairness. Ooh.
Well, first I hit the tiefling with my scabbard, so
get some chips off the wall. All right, Lothar, you are up first.
I am going to hold my position and keep him silent.
Okay. So, are you gonna hold your action,
yes.
or just okay?
Well, here's the thing: if the tiefling realizes he's silenced and attempts to run towards the stairs, which would not be silent, if he survived the attacks of opportunity, I'm going to move to block him and keep him silent.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That's okay. That's perfect. He is now. It's the tiefling's turn.
You mean he beat like a 5 and a 6?
Yeah.
Speedster.
Yes, it's Speedy Gonzalez over here.
you'd have to disengage though and get 2 free hacks on him.
Man, here's the problem. If he stands up, which he wants to do, he's going to get 2. He's going to draw 2 attacks of opportunity.
You can swing from prone at like a -2 or -4 or something like that.
Yeah.
You still
You
got
know, with a 10-foot-long weapon.
But you look like a girl when you do it.
You know what he's going to do?
Make sure you tell him you look like a girl, too.
He pulls his hand away from his glaive, puts his other hand against to try and staunch the bleeding of his arm and shoulder, and puts one hand up kind of in surrender. He does not try to get up.
All right. This might be useful information. But he said, well, I don't know how we're going to talk to him now, but we can bind him, I guess.
He does not attack. Fletcher, you're up.
Flashheart, you saying anything?
Not that you can hear.
It doesn't matter. You can't hear it.
I can't hear anything, and I'm not big on. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm swinging.
Oh, that's a hit.
You need intelligence. All right, huh?
I'm also enraged.
God. 22 points. All right, so Flashheart, ignoring his defensive stance, takes his.
You mean Fletcher?
Fletcher, ignoring his defensive stance, plants his rear thing, lets out an elvish barbarian yell, and decapitates him.
Well, it's silent, yo.
Right through his neck. You see his hands and his head go splitting off the thing. The head, which is remarkably round, rolls a little bit and then falls off into the darkness.
What?
Blood squirting everywhere as the body slides down that wall.
I don't think we want him to slide down that wall.
Oh no, he doesn't slide off. He slides down the. He's still on the roof. His head, but
Well, hopefully tiefling heads rolling around the yard aren't weird. Isn't weird to them.
it's slid off this side. So Fletcher, take a moment to look over the side, and you can see his head sitting on the roof of the Citadel. Okay, stop rolling. But by luck, it didn't fall onto, say, the other side where the where the other guys are.
Right. You know you're going to clog up the gutters doing that.
But he's dead.
Yay! Big
All right.
buddy.
So you guys immediately run downstairs, right?
Yep.
No, but we'll be prepped by the stairs in case anybody comes bebopping up here.
So what are you guys going to do? That battle lasted about 10 seconds.
I think you need to tie up to a rope and try and hook that head and pull it up.
Oh, it's
fine.
they're 45, 50 feet away.
I'm kidding.
What fishing hook do they have?
Quick search of the body, and then Flashheart's right. We should guard the top of the stairs.
Okay, so quick search of the body. You see he has his glaive, which is a masterwork glaive. He is carrying a symbol of Baphomet. So this is the very much, you think this is an Ivory Labyrinth god. He exhibits all of the characteristics of those guys.
When do they start?
Helpful to know like how far the ivory tower was.
You could ask that.
It would have been helpful.
Don't send in an enraged barbarian.
If you want to talk.
It was here to make everybody feel bad. Please.
He has a small bottle and a coin purse, which has 13 gold pieces and 11 silver pieces in it.
And there's a note to his family how he was getting short. This is his last day. He was leaving the army. And
Dear fam,
yeah.
things at Citadel Drezen are great. There's no word, and the bosses are nice. Only 3 of us have gotten eaten this week, which is a new record. Yeah, he doesn't have much on him.
Sitting on the guard tower.
I have a cushy job sitting on the roof of the guard tower. All is well.
It's the safest place here.
Yeah, should be home soon. XOXO tiefling. But no, yeah, this is a tiefling. He has the physical characteristics of a tiefling. So he has horns, he has fangs, his skin is a different color, some scales. He exhibits, some pretty significant tiefling physical characteristics. But he's dressed in armor and wears the signs of the Ivory Labyrinth. So, which historically, or at least before, most of the Ivory Labyrinth guys that you've run into have been human. But remember, these were the guys that were under Kenebris or on the way to Kenebris, or on the way from Kenebris to here, which means that they were like advanced troops, quislings, spies, that kind of thing. So, a tiefling with his physical characteristics could never have passed in Kenebris for anything but an enemy.
It gives you a thought, hey Fletcher, well, whatever silences off us, maybe you become aware of this Baphomet symbol here. You might be able to pass as one of the humans, and I would count humans wandering around, that we can have you walk around a little less under scrutiny. Like I could never pass as a bad guy, but you might be able to.
Yeah, there's nothing on me that would give me away as being good.
Right, and I think we talked about
And covered with blood too, so
Yeah, when we were underground, I think Les said I couldn't be wearing one of the Baphometian badges. Right, it messes up my paladin.
No, it would definitely have a deleterious effect on your paladin abilities to wear an evil holy symbol.
But for Fletcher, wearing his bling to maybe go around in disguise wouldn't be untoward, right? It wouldn't mess him up at all.
No, I would believe that the ends justify the means.
Whoa, look at that. Second wave.
Lit up a lot less.
How much can you see? I guess it's just the outside bits there.
Yeah.
So those
So
are
we
two
see something over to the left there, though. You probably don't see yet.
Yeah, well, this is okay actually. So this is actually, and it's because
They're on the roof is what it is.
they're outside. Yeah, these are
Ballista.
ballista teams that are near the front gate. So of the map, I'll just to meta a little bit. This area over here is the way in the front gate. It's just the way the tower is set up. You can't really do it. So yeah, but these are outside. Those are the patios near the very south.
So we're above them, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like opposite sides. Well, let's go real quick to the map again. Hold on, let me show you what you see on there. So basically, you guys have landed here on the top of that thing. The picture that you saw was this right here, because of the way the map is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, what you would be able to see, you wouldn't necessarily from your position be able to see much more. You wouldn't be able to see these guys. But, I mean, you kind of knew that those guys were there. But it's these front, the two that you see on the other thing are these guys right here.
But we're landed right here, right?
But you guys, no, right here.
Oh, okay.
On that tower right there.
Plateaus, Les. Wouldn't we see those first, these guys?
Well, yes, but the patios are lower, or well, they're about the same. I guess. Yeah, I guess you probably would see them. You see. Well, let me tell you what you see. Let's switch back over to the other thing. I know it's all black. Hold on a second. So what you would see, well, yeah, and you could also look down off of the tower that you're on, and see immediately below you. So let's get sorted here. So you guys are back here. So let's take a quick look around. And we're going to use Siggy to do that. I'm going to put 60 on him. We're going to take a quick lap around the thing to see what you guys can see. All right, so Siggy is going to go through here. So, all right, so this is the front area. Let's go over there real quick. So you see those two guys there. You can see these other two places on the other side. You see them?
Yep.
Yep.
So what you're seeing over there, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick lap around the thing, that basically what you see from the tower top. These are near the front. The front gate is essentially like right here. These are ballista crews, two-man teams, one loader and one firer. Loader and spotter are sort of the same guy, and they're basically on these little patios that are near the front gate. Make sense?
I just thought on the map we're way up here, based on what you showed us on the map.
Yes, you are, but I'm just going to show you what you can see on this map.
Oh, okay.
So to make it easier. So then, basically below you guys on the tower.
How big are those squares, Les?
Those are 5-foot squares. Hold on a second, I got to hide something real quick. All right, so then as you look directly to the south, you see the first real patio. Hold on, let me expand this.
Patio term. Just have a vision of barbecue.
Yeah, there's barbecues. It smells like goat.
Some pergolas.
Yeah. So so you guys see where we are now? Hold on. Let me shunt everybody over there.
Nice.
So that is the southerly patio. You've got a couple of catapults there with larger teams. They look like to be 3-man teams on those catapults, and then you have a couple of ballistas on each one of these areas that stick out, and 2-man teams there, which are looking down in the things. And then you have these guys. So all these battlements are broken for archers. These guys are sort of standing there. You're not sure if they're archers. They have bows, at least from what you can see from here. They have bows, but they also seem to be giving people orders. So they might be bosses. Okay, but there's a fair amount of people there. Then let's go and take a look.
This is the front. This is the front area.
Yeah, it's the front.
Right over the gate.
No, not over the gate. These guys were over the gate. The guys to the south and west of what we just looked at before.
Oh, okay.
Those guys were the gate. These guys here that you're looking at right now. Here, I'm going to take it back.
In a keeper.
Are these guys right here?
Okay.
Okay.
So a duplicate version of them on the other side, then basically. We expect.
Yeah, the little ones are down here. No,
But
no. This is the one you're looking at right now.
I know. I'm just saying, should we expect a duplicate of that? What we're seeing over here.
Well, we'll take a look.
All right.
All right.
Right ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So below you, you take a look around right below you. Hold on a second. It takes me a minute to get them up there. All right. Below the tower, you see it?
Yep.
Okay.
This is the Citadel.
Yeah. Well, this is the tower. So you guys are on
Tower we're on. It's below us.
Yeah, below. You guys are here, like
So
up 2 levels.
Got it. So where's the head that fell? Over here
On the other side, behind this. It did not fall onto the patio.
Got it. Okay. Good.
Okay, but you can see that there's what is it, six ballistas up here on that little area, with each with their own teams, plus another guy over here by what looks to be like a couple of doors.
That's a lot of dudes.
Yeah, it's a lot of dudes. And then if we go over to the other side. Okay.
So wait, the thing that Bardos didn't like the smell of was that one tiefling up there with the glaze?
I don't think that
so.
was it.
So this part here, facing northeast, looks very much the same as the one that was in the south, except for a couple of interesting things. One, you've got this guy, which is a large horned demon, standing by these guys over here, and another one down here by the catapult. So there's 2 of those guys. And then there's this creature over here. You can't get a good look at it, but it's some sort of winged creature about 11 feet tall.
Is it like a Brock?
It's not a Brock.
Okay. Great.
We know what they look like.
Yeah, you know what Brocks look like. That's not a Brock. All right.
Are they all looking at our fires? Our merry.
Yeah, they seem to be looking to the east. I mean, they look to be checking that out. You can see from where you are that those fires are clearly visible, and the horns and stuff are definitely audible from where you're standing. These guys can hear it.
Okay.
All right, and hold on. All right, don't look south.
Don't look.
Just don't look.
But he's going to look when you say don't look.
Everybody's gonna look. All right, so
I didn't look.
this one here is the southeastern patio. Again, catapults, ballistas, other guys. In certain cases, these guys look like they might be ghouls or some sort of ghoul-like creature. But you also have a couple of winged creatures that seem to be in some sort of supervisory position. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. We move south again to the tower, but that's what you guys see.
I think
So now you're on the tower. Lothar has already spotted some stairs down. What's the plan?
Now, granted, you showed us views that we could see on these things, but are we counting hundreds of defenders or dozens of defenders? It didn't seem like that many to me.
Dozens, I would say. Maybe a couple of dozen. I mean, and each patio, if you're talking about gross, whoops, what the heck? Where did he come from? Oh, I'm sorry. Ilindar, I'm sorry. I moved you off into no man's land there. Sorry about that.
What happened to Eleanor?
All right. On maybe maybe a dozen guys. Each patio has maybe a dozen guys, except for that northeastern patio, which has more, but maybe a dozen and a half.
Okay. All right. Well, we definitely could get there with 300 dudes, but let's go talk to them up.
Need Baru.
Marching order.
Is that phrase not catching on?
Hold on, I gotta go get him. Say that again.
I said, let's go fuck them up. I said, what is that not catching on, that phrase?
Fuck them up.
Probably not catching on.
Yeah.
Fuck them up.
I get it. That's not bad. You might get some bonus experience.
Dad jokes, paladin jokes, you know.
There's all right. So you guys are all landed. Storm reverts to a normal size. There's a headless corpse to the northernmost portion of there that Fletcher seems inordinately proud of. But
You're welcome.
but it also, as Lothar pointed out, a stair set going down.
I think Gatto a masterwork glaive for his close inspection.
Does Gatto inspect it?
Yes.
The body?
No, the glaive, the masterwork glaive.
Oh, the masterwork glaive. It is non-magical, but it is masterwork. It's obviously it's labyrinth work. It's. I mean, even Flashheart, you would have been able to tell that this is a similar kind of glaive than the ones that you've been taking off of bodies for the last month.
Yep. All right, Fletcher, you and I side by side down these stairs.
There's something bad down there.
Well, we took the roof. We took the roof easier than we thought. So you know something bad's about to be done.
Baru said that there was something bad, and to the point where Baru did not want to go through that area.
We're gonna assume there's a demon or more down there.
Les, just a quick check. This glyph on the top of the building.
Yep.
Is this a fairly new addition?
It is. It's a Baphometian glyph. And it's sort of just painted on there. It's been there for several years, it looks like, but it's not carved, it's painted.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a Baphomet glyph. Which frankly makes you wonder how much influence the Tower of the Ivory Labyrinth has here. I mean, their armies are comprised in large part of tieflings and humans who are Baphometians. Their internal guards are Baphometians. You've been running into these guys for a while. These guys have been... it's weird that the World Wound demons would not be Baphomet worshippers. So it's kind of strange to you that so many Baphomet worshippers are sort of allied with these guys. I mean, it's kind of strange. It's kind of not. They're all bad guys. They're all chaotic evil. But... under any other normal circumstances, these guys would be at each other's throats.
Yeah.
And they're not now. They're very much aligned.
Well, the enemy of my enemy.
Yeah. They're all trying to take advantage of the potential here. All right, so Flashheart, you guys run down the stairs, clanking away.
Before those two start moving, I'm going to make sure everybody's within range and cast Bless.
Bless. Okay. How long does that last?
A minute per level.
Okay, so 5 minutes.
Do we have another silent spell to throw on us before we go clanking along, or no? Or
No, afraid not.
You got a silent?
No, I don't have a second one.
Okay. All right. So
I will also align my weapon less.
Okay. How long does that last?
4 hours.
I'm happy to give up the vanguard here. Somebody else who's a little more sneaky.
I think it'd be you and Storm in front.
Maybe this feels like a Bilbo to Smaug expedition, doesn't it? It sounds like a job for Gata.
If you want stealth, I could do that.
You and Otto could go. Gato and Otto could go, and then we can come.
Otto.
Otto and Otto. I don't know. What do you think, Otto? I mean, I was just throwing that out. I'm not trying to.
Oh no, you're just trying to goad me down to their thing first. I'll go.
No,
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Les, Farina's going to put bark skin on.
Okay.
Here we have Bless thrown on.
I have to go so that Farina's not mad at me.
You want to send Otto with Gato, Farina?
Yes.
Sure.
All right.
Hey, Les, I'm casting Mage Armor on Storm.
Okay.
Otto next to Gatto.
Is Otto going with me to keep an eye on me or to help me?
Yes.
A little bit.
He's there to help.
Yes.
Not like I feel spied upon at all, but
So they go first. I'll be second wave.
Okay, so then I need both Gatto and Otto. I'm going to love saying that forever now. To give me some stealth checks.
Bardos is going to cast Mage Armor on Otto, too.
ha!
On Otto.
Yep.
Okay.
Otto can't even see me.
Nice one,
I'm
Gatto.
going to say none of us can.
That's practically invisible.
Okay, what did you roll? Oh, natty 20. So 31 for Gatto. What did Otto roll?
Meh.
14 for Otto.
His heart wasn't it.
Yeah. He's too distracted by Gatto.
How could he be? All right, let's see. What way now? Okay. You guys ease down the stairs quietly, as quietly as you can. Although, frankly, Gatto, you look over at Otto, and he seems to be making a lot more noise than you would prefer. But you find yourselves moving forward.
Those cats are always so noisy.
Yeah, you're just like, cat, shut up.
This one is.
You guys slowly go down the stairs.
I'm
and
checking for traps.
You see, all right, roll a perception check. You see a double door closed down at the bottom of the steps, down a floor.
Yeah, there's no way to do that.
As far as you can see,
What
Gatto.
was the AC bonus that somebody gave Otto?
+4. I did it.
Plus 4, it's mage armor.
Oh, thank you.
It's not on the laptop. I don't see a way to do that on the laptop.
That's fine. Who's add 4? Okay, sorry to interrupt.
That's all right. You do not, Gatto, you do not see any traps, any obvious traps.
Right. Not that I know of. Bottom of the door. Is it locked?
It is not locked.
Does Otto hear anything? Can I do a
Is it-
perception?
Sure. Be careful there, Otto. Don't be peeking.
I'm not peeking. I can't see anything.
Just gonna move him up a
Perception's
little bit.
not-
Make sure he stays in the room.
16? Any
16.
ideas?
And Gatto, are you looking or listening, Gatto? Or everything?
A little bit of everything. Just checking it all out.
So Otto, and you and Otto communicate more or less in language, correct?
No, it's actually within a mile more empathetic.
Empathetic. Okay. So Otto definitely does a few snips. He listens a little bit, and he's on high alert. Suddenly, you can almost feel the hairs on the back of his neck go up.
So, I mean, is this posture enough to tell Gatto, who's I'm sure somewhat intelligent?
Well, I was going to say, do I see the back of his hairs go up?
Oh yeah, you see, his whiskers are out, his ears are up. He's on like point stance.
Okay.
He's everything that every bit of body language that Otto is giving off tells you that there is something on the other side that Otto doesn't like at all. You listen, and at first you don't hear anything, but then you hear what sounds like, well, it's breathing, but like,
Ooh, it's Darth Vader.
it's weird. It's weird breathing, like multiple breathings
Like a dragon with a
happening at the same
I
time.
look at Otto and say slowly, you and I are going in. Tell them to come down.
Otto does this.
You ever tried to control a cat? Or hurt a cat?
He makes-
Communicate with a cat?
He
Yeah,
gives you that look.
I just know that she can talk to this cat and I can't, and so I go in.
He doesn't know.
Otto's not
Otto,
gonna that you said something asinine.
Otto looks at Gatto like when you crinkle aluminum foil in front of a dog, and they kind of go like, "What is this? What is this sorcery?"
Quick.
Thus, I open the door.
All right, just barge in.
Well, no, stealthily open the door. Because it sounds like there's
It's a double door. You just want to open both of them or just one side?
just one.
Okay.
Boom! I'm here.
Door opens.
Hey, there's nothing there. What was the big problem?
Where you guys are, you can't see much. Well, Gatto might see more than you do. Gatto, do you want to tell them what you see?
I see a lot more than I want to.
I don't see anything.
Describe what. I'm gonna actually give Gatto so you guys.
Are we creeping down the stairs?
If I tell Gato to go get them, what does the cat do then?
I don't know. Would Otto understand? Okay, so there's two questions here. Would Otto understand what he's saying, and would Otto obey him?
I would have sent Otto to support and protect Gatto.
Okay, so Otto doesn't go anywhere, Gatto. But Farina, you would get the feeling that danger, there's trouble here.
I'm going to
I sneak back upstairs.
You go back upstairs after opening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I follow.
All right, Otto follows. So you go back up to the roof.
I'm leaving that door open.
You are?
Yep.
Okay.
Because all of us are about to go down, and now it'll be quiet because it's already open.
All right.
I hope that's not prophecy.
All right. So Gatto, what do you tell them?
There is a large.
Otto, you spy.
What?
Otto is spying.
Oh, no. I'm not trying to spy. Was that on top of the stairs?
No, Scott, I believe you.
I was just trying to get back up the
It's a
stairs.
Scott maneuver. No, I just leave Otto right there. We'll just
Sorry.
up on the roof.
Did I tell him about the giant? Oh, never mind.
Well, I guess you can. Well, Gatto can certainly. Well, Otto
There's
saw it too.
a large nest in the room downstairs, and there is snoring.
What is in it?
The walls of the nest were
I
high.
didn't look.
So this nest is probably. Let me do a quick measure here.
20 feet in diameter.
Easily, probably more like 25 to 30 feet in diameter, and the walls were probably 6 feet high. And something was breathing or snoring inside of it.
I told you snoring.
So it's a roost.
Paul.
Maybe a rock's roost?
It is a roost. Oh, wait, you said roost. Okay.
We could do a stone call in that nest and fill it with rock.
Do you guys have that?
Yep.
Arena has that.
That's right, she does have stone. But you'd have to be in view of it. You have to be able to see it. But you haven't seen it.
We can escort her down.
Stealthily, I'm assuming.
Yes, which means Flash Art can't go.
Somebody else, Gatto, has have to escort her down.
I'm a little stealthy too.
Since when?
Since when?
You stomp around like a Clydesdale,
It's all
leaving
my
bodies in your way. That's how everybody knows you've been there, is because everyone's dead.
Yes. Well, I have a +9.
Okay. That's actually pretty good for a flat-out murderer.
Exactly. I'm a quiet murderer.
All right, so stone call is the plan?
Well, it'll slow it down, maybe. I mean, we could try and attack it first and do some damage, and because we'll get a surprise attack, and then do the stone call.
It's probably a them, which is why the stone call is a good idea.
Well, Gatto would tell you that he thought he heard multiple breathings, but he wasn't. It was weird. They were sort of synced, but not really synced.
That was a 40-foot radius, so.
Okay. So what do you? I mean, is that what you guys want to do?
Who do you want to go with?
Want to? No, but I don't think we have a better choice. I think we can sneak past it.
So it should do a little bit of damage, and then it should make it difficult for them to move. At least slow them down a little bit. I don't know where my icon is on here to move it.
You're right smack in the middle, aren't you?
So stone call is a 20-foot radius, right?
40 foot. It's huge.
40 foot? That's the whole thing.
I know, that's the downside. I wish you could control that and focus it. That would be nice.
Okay. That's the whole tower.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
on that level.
I also think we should be ready to attack when she does that, guys.
I think so too.
Well,
But you're going to be out to the outside edge because otherwise you'll get.
Well, no, we'll be behind you. You cast it, and then we go in.
we'll be behind you all the way, sir.
You're going to have impeded movement to some extent.
Yeah, so we'll have to move slowly.
All right, hold on. Stone Call. Let's look at this here. All right, 40-foot radius, 20-foot high, rain of dirt, gravel, small pebbles fills the area, dealing 2d6 bludgeoning damage to every creature. Damage occurs only once. For the remaining duration of the spell, which is 1 round per level or 5 rounds, the debris covers the ground, making the entire area difficult terrain, half speed. At the end of the duration, the rocks disappear, leaving no after effects other than the damage. So basically, knowing the size of this thing, 40-foot radius, it will fill the entirety of the area, not just the nest. But it won't proceed outward any further than that. Although some rocks may end up going over the edge, probably will, because remember there are big holes. There are big holes in the walls.
So that's going to alert the people down below there's a problem.
Your guess is that it will. Yeah, I mean, they'll have some. I mean, they won't take damage from it, but they will almost certainly have some rocks and debris fall onto them because the holes in the wall are above where the ballista guys are.
Do we want to try to sneak past?
It might be worth it.
Yeah. Jen, or I don't know, Gato, do you think you want to try to see if we can sneak past the thing first before we try to assassinate it?
No.
Well, this is a stealth mission, not a kill everything in sight mission.
Yeah, Stone Call could be very noisy.
Farina, give me a perception check.
It'll take a second.
Okay. My computer is acting a little floofy.
You need a -4 to all your combat rolls. There,
Ooh, nice.
Well, I don't want to do this, but it's getting all screwy here.
If you were a human, I'd shoot you in the face.
They have to. Roll 20 is acting screwy for me. We've still got video, right? You guys can still hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Well, roll 20 just took a dump for me. Hold on a second. Much better. It took a dump, but now it's not dumping.
34.
34 rolls still counts.
Hold on. I gotta refresh here. 34. You rolled a 34 perception.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Instead of the breathing or snoring that Gato described, as you move closer to the thing, you hear what sounds to be like sticks and sort of crackling. Like something heavy is moving around in the nest.
They're awake. Is there anybody down there with me?
Gato might have followed you.
I'm about 10 feet behind you.
Okay, my roll 20 crashed, so I gotta restart here real quick.
Well, I'm going to whisper up. They're awake. They're moving, whatever it is. Are we doing this? Are you guys worried about alerting the people down below?
We want to stealth off this tower as best as possible to capture the thing without having to kill everything between now and there, wherever our final destination is. But if you think it's the only way to defeat whatever it is in the nest, then sure. I just want to know what it is before you wake it up.
Probably killing anything is going to be loud anyway.
True.
Not as low as a bunch of
That's
rocks
true.
dropping.
Yeah, it's true.
The storm call could be louder. I don't get the impression that this thing is going to run away. it seems like this is something scary. This is scared Baru. This is what scared Otto.
So my laptop is not working at all. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
So-
but your video's gone.
Apparently, audio is the only thing working right now. Everything is crashing. It's a shit show. Why every time?
Oh, we've got your video. We don't have your map.
Yeah, we're toast here, math-wise. I'm trying to shut it down, and it won't even shut down. So Control-Alt-Delete is not doing anything, which, as Matt can tell you, is a bad place to be.
That's a really bad sign.
Yeah.
Okay, Les,
Yeah.
give me GM access to Roll20, and then I'll share my desk.
Never.
That's I think the only thing you can do now is initiate the self-destruct.
And run out of the room.
All right. Well. All right. I got to self-destruct here. I got to restart. So talk.
Hold the power button down.
I hope it stays. I hope the thing stays on. But I'll see you in a minute.
2 minutes to minimum safe distance.
Okay, quick, Farina, run inside the room, look at what's there, and come back.
Yeah. I've only got 2 more second level spells. So if you guys think that maybe we could take it out quieter, them out, maybe we should do that. We could always retreat and stone call if we need to, but that's only going to do 2d6, which is on the average 6 points. Probably not enough to just slow
So
them
the
down.
stone call's not going to do a ton of damage anyway. Is that what you're saying?
Right, it doesn't do a ton of damage, but it damages everything.
Yeah, everything gets hit and it slows everything down.
Which, if there's 5 there, that's great. But if there's 2, then it's not worth it.
Okay, so I'm charging in and killing them?
I don't think you should be charging in.
I agree.
I think Form and I could charge in with.
I was
Do it
hoping
stealth.
someone would say that.
Let's try melee first, though, before we do spells, like area spells.
Yeah, I'd save spells. We got a fairly heavy melee
Got a
group.
tower to get through, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that
I'd
makes
let the melees until we need the spellcasters.
Yeah.
I think that's a great
How
idea.
stealthy is Storm, Mike?
What's that?
How stealthy is Storm?
Just like
Moderate. She's more stealthy than any character who's not a rogue, but she's not near the level of like Otto or Baru or anything like that.
And we probably don't need to be quite that good. I'm just thinking you and I.
If you're semi-stealthy, she's probably on par with you, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Otto's only plus 10.
Yeah, and I'm +9.
Let me see what she is.
That.
She is. Oh wow, she's 10.
Yeah, so she's pretty stealthy.
Oops, where I get 17?
And I don't mean to exclude you, Flashheart. It's just you are not stealth. Like-
That is not my forte. Paladins don't skulk.
It is not your modus operandi.
Yeah. Iamade says strut your stuff, not skulk around corners.
So maybe Storm and I go down next. So we've got Gatto, Storm, Fletcher, and Farina, and Otto. And we
Can you guys see me?
in
Yep.
and let everybody else come pouring down after we initiate combat.
Awesome. Okay.
So
I'll
we
have
gather up the treasure we've got.
screen soon.
Died while you were gone, Les.
Wow,
We did.
more artifacts. Thank you, Les.
We killed the ancient black dragon, so we're just going through its treasure right now.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad we got through that really quickly.
The stealth is probably not even really an issue because I think at this point they've already heard us with the door open and they're moving. I mean,
Well, something's
Yeah.
moving inside that nest. Is what you're.
they're
How
not
you-
snoring anymore. So I don't know if stealth even matters. But Farina will knock an arrow and go after the heavy hitters.
Well, then, Flash, you want to come down? You and Storm go first, then?
We all need to go down. I mean, we just got to get through this.
Yeah, just normally we want to send the tanks first.
Are we on the old initiative or do we have to roll again or how's that work, Les?
Got to roll again. You haven't. You're out of initiative right now.
Les, you haven't shared the screen yet.
I know. I'm getting there. I'm still putting it up. Okay, here we go. All right, cool. All right, can you guys see this?
Yes, I got
All right, we're back. Hold on, I gotta do the thing. Hold on. All right, sharing the screen. There you go. Can you see it now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool. All right. So, Farina, you hear the thing inside, and it's stomping around, and you hear it snuffling. It's whatever it is. It's big, but again, you hear that same sort of like weirdly syncopated breathing. Only it's not breathing anymore. It's growling, snuffling, but it's coordinated. But something, it sounds like, is coming out of that nest.
I'm heading down the
I'm coming down too.
stairs.
Okay, so you guys are coming down there. Where you guys go ahead and move to down the stairs.
I can't see myself to move myself. Where's the original?
You want to be in front, Flash?
Sure.
Yeah, just south of what you're looking at is where you'll find your icon.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, hold on a second. I gotta move that off. Okay. All right. You guys begin moving in, and you hear. You see a weird. So I guess Flashheart and Farina and Fletcher, you guys would probably see this first. The storm. There's like a weird bluish green light emanating from the room towards you now.
Excellent.
Can we get haste?
Bartos can do that.
Are we ready?
Hold on. Does Bartos do that?
Bartos will cast haste.
Excellent.
So which 5 get it?
Fletcher, Storm, Flashheart. I guess Gatto. You want haste, Gatto?
Yes, please.
I'm going to move down here and cast Bull Strength on Fletcher.
Okay.
Did the plan change, or are you not making the nest now, Karina?
Yeah, she's gonna hold off because
It doesn't do a lot of damage, so we're going to.
it's gonna make way too much noise.
All right.
So Fletcher, Storm, Flashheart, Farina, and Gatto will be hasted.
Hasted. Thank you.
Okay, but before you have a chance to, something steps into the light. It opens, and you see it. Let me just describe it for you before you find out what it does.
I can't.
It's an immense creature, large creature, with 3 heads. One lion-like, another dragon-like, and another, I believe, I don't know, something else.
Snake.
Snake-like.
No, it's a goat.
It's got
Dragon, lion,
great
goat.
dragon, lion, goat. It's got it's a chimera.
Right.
It's got these great dragon wings behind it. And you see it kind of like crushing, but it looks strange. It looks. Have any of you seen a chimera before? Only in books, probably.
Gatto's never.
No.
Does anybody got a knowledge arcana or knowledge planes?
I do.
Yeah, I have knowledge planes.
Give me whoever's got knowledge arcana or knowledge planes. Give me a knowledge check. 20 for Lothar. It's probably not going to be enough to.
26.
Flashheart 26. What's your knowledge arcana or planes?
Planes.
Bartos, what's that? Knowledge arcana?
That's planes,
Planes. Okay.
and that's Arcana.
Oh, okay. So,
Hey, Les, can you move Ilendar over to the stairs?
sure.
I can't,
Why, you can't move him?
No.
I can't see him.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I'm
See
going
him
to
now?
take off.
Okay. You're gonna run.
Yep.
All right. So the thing about this, you guys are a bit flummoxed by the sudden appearance of this creature. It lumbers into view, but those of you who rolled a 25 or more on either knowledge or knowledge arcana or knowledge planes, you've read descriptions of these creatures. You've heard descriptions of these creatures. In none of those descriptions have you ever heard that they glow blue-green in patches. It looks like somebody took a chimera, injected these weird glowing stones into it, and broke and remended all of its limbs. So that now it has this like weird kind of like spidery walk as it comes to you, not the graceful loping walk of a normal chimera.
It's a demon chimera.
It sees you guys and just goes, and this sudden dragon mouth opens up, and this ice shards, glowing blue-green, come shooting out at you in a great cloud that fills the bottom part of the stairs. So I need reflex saves as a 40-foot cone of freezing wind and shards of jagged ice come shooting out.
Yeah, and this happened before I could run past him. Okay.
It happened before you could run past him.
You said
Did we
reflex
roll
save?
initiative?
Huh? It heard you and came over to the doors.
But it still wouldn't get a surprise round. We know it's there.
Yeah, we knew it was there.
It's not a surprise round though.
It's not a surprise, right? It knows you guys are there.
Well, why did it get to go first?
Because you guys didn't do anything.
If you'd have shut up, I was going to run past it.
What save did you say?
Reflex.
Hey, Les.
Yes.
I carefully look to see if it has a thorn in one of its paws.
So you guys, can you just see the purple there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the spray, and I need reflex saves. For anybody who's in there, including Gato.
That was Gato's, the 26.
Okay, made it. Fletcher, no, I'm sorry, bud.
That's all right.
What am I rolling? I'm sorry.
Reflex save.
Reflex save.
Ooh. Who was
Bardos, no. Who's that? Is that actual Bardos? Or that's Farina?
It's got to be Farina. Bardos is clear.
Yeah.
Were both doors open? I thought just the one door was open.
Just the one door is open, but it's that whole thing is just shooting through there.
Oh, the right door? I thought it was the left door. Yeah.
It's the one closest. It's the inside door.
I don't think I made it.
Nope, Flashheart, you didn't make it. Lothar didn't make it. This is just a tough thing that just happened. Those ice shards and cold just comes shooting through there, and it seems like this blue glow infuses all of this stuff. For those of you who missed your save, it deals 11 points of cold damage and another 14 of piercing damage.
Ouch. I'm sorry, what?
So for a total of 25 points of cold and piercing damage as these ice shards shoot at you into the hallway. So 25 points total. Who's moving my cone?
I can't get to me.
Yeah, we can't do our characters that thing over it.
Oh, okay, sorry. I looked it.
Wow. So they're going to
So 5 and
Flashheart,
7.
are you almost dead?
Most of us are going to be almost dead.
Yeah, that's 25 points of damage, dude.
Yeah, we're 5th level.
Okay. Lothar, give me do you have knowledge religion?
Yeah,
Okay, give me a knowledge religion check real quick.
13.
Oof, okay. Bardos, another knowledge arcana.
I've got knowledge religion too. Would that be better?
Either or, whichever one you feel would be best. 21, okay. after it explodes with that breath weapon at you guys, and everybody's like sort of thrown backwards by the force of this thing, you realize that blue-green glow and the damage, the seemingly weird kind of mutations that have characterized this chimera. You suspect that whatever was done to it has given it mythic powers. That its powers are augmented by this blue-green crystal.
Because a regular Chimera would have been too easy.
All right, let's roll for initiative.
Wait, you said that wasn't a surprise round.
He just kind of stepped over there and blasted you guys. It's in the rules.
It's in the rules.
Under S for shenanigans.
Shenanigans, I say.
Well, it rolled a natural 18 on a perception check while you guys were sneaking around on the stairs. So it was alerted to you guys, and it just sort of like went over there and just blasted you. All right, so Gatto's 24. Lothar 8. A gentleman's 8. Fletcher 18.
Bardos is 20. Farina's 18.
Okay. And all animals will go on their character's turn unless otherwise then Gatto up first.
I get behind him.
So you're gonna run through there. Now you're running through probably 7,000 or 8,000 threatened squares.
Yep, and he gets one attack of opportunity, and I rolled a 30 for acrobatics to avoid it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you would be able to get through there without drawing the attack of opportunity. Acrobatics forestalls the attack of opportunity. So he kind of looks around as you kind of scuttle through there. The rest of you see Gatto run in there towards the Chimera. Your first thing is you keep waiting for Gatto to say, "All right, Chimera, let's get him."
Leroy Jenkins.
All right, but Gatto runs. Pulls the sword, runs in there.
Farina's pretty impressed. Farina's feeling pretty good about this guy.
I moved 60 with haste, so I get one attack.
That's a miss.
Is everybody hasted?
Just 5 of us.
I'll nudge Fletcher and go, that's a big damn hero right there.
Now let's see if anyone helps by coming in and flanking with him.
Frankly, he's probably
he does not have an attack of opportunity left, guys.
Well, now wait a second.
Well, he didn't take it when I ran 8 squares around him?
No, I guess he would have taken it. I guess he would have. He would have seen that as some sort of affront, yeah. As you were scooting around there.
Nope, can't touch this guy. I won't even bother.
All right. Bardos.
And me?
Oh, Bardos and Ilindar, yeah. You guys both have the same.
What heads are these last? A lion,
a dragon.
A lion, a dragon, and a goat.
Actually,
Walk into a bar.
The goat should have ducked.
Okay, a ram.
Thundar's going to there and casting Restore Eidolon.
Okay, so healing.
Yeah.
those doors are both open, correct?
No, just the one, actually.
Which one?
This one. Oh, you can't see it because I'm in the wrong place. Okay.
Gatto.
The interior one. So Ilindar, where Ilindar is standing, he's sort of like behind a door.
Throw open the door, Ilindar. Give me a clear shot. Do I have a clear shot?
No,
It's a pretty big creature. You have a shot.
Okay.
Les, can I cast Enlarge Person on Fletcher where he's at?
Yes, but until he gets out into the room, he will be squeezed.
He's not going to affect my shot, is he?
It depends. Yeah, he might.
Before or after you.
Okay, that's how much Storm got healed.
Okay.
Why doesn't Fletcher hold his action, then let Farina take her shot, you get enlarged, and then you charge in. It depends on when you have to go then.
And then Storm's going to go to right here. And take a single attack.
Okay. Gutsy move. And it'll miss.
Yep.
11's not very good. All right, so Storm does the Ilindar healed Storm. Storm goes right into the teeth of the Chimera.
Did we get healing? Or
Bardos, it's your turn if you want to take it.
I'm gonna cast Enlarge on Fletcher, but I'm gonna wait until he goes through these doors to do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna reserve until he moves.
So
Basically,
you're gonna hold. All right. Let me know when you come back. When you want to come back in. Fletcher and Farina, you guys are up.
Does Gatto give Farina flanking?
You can't flank with an arrow, I don't think.
Oh, well, I can with my cat, but not with him. Okay.
Right. Yeah. You don't even. Yeah. I mean, you can't even see him back there.
Okay. I'm just gonna take 2 shots.
All right.
you have its companions. It could be with Gatto, depending on. I don't know how that works.
I think it has to be with my animal companion.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh,
Nice.
Job.
so 16 or 26. I'm sorry, that will hit. And natty 20. Roll to see if you get a crit. Confirm the crit.
Is this the one?
Man,
Ugh.
Oh, 13 did not, but you do get exploding dice on that.
So that means maximum, right?
No, just if you roll,
just
another
loading.
two, roll again.
Yeah, if you roll max dice on.
Roll your damage for the
okay.
26 first.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be 9 and then 8.
All right, let me see.
Is that for the 26 or for both of them?
The 9 is for the 26 and the 8 is for the 30.
Okay.
Okay.
Neither was
Total.
I would have had to max out on the 31 and then I would have got another roll.
Had you rolled an 8 plus 2 for the damage for the 30, you could have rolled another 8-sided.
Right, if I
Yeah.
Okay,
You don't have a. Okay. There you go. 2 arrows go shooting in them. Doesn't seem to notice much, but they do. You did hit him.
He's got damage resistance. So that if it doesn't look like it's done much damage, does that
Fletcher,
give
you
me
want to run around the other side?
He's got magic resistance, he's got damage resistance, and I need a magical weapon to hurt him.
Yeah.
One more. You've got a lot more movement than.
Well, I'm trying to leave room for being enlarged. I don't know if I know that I'm being enlarged.
Well, as soon as you go through those doors, I'm going to hit you with that.
So let's say I get
Okay.
here and I get enlarged. And then I can pick where I want to go.
Right.
That's why I went here, because I figured I'd take up these 4.
Okay. So Bardos, you're gonna have to step forward into the doorway so you can see him. Because I don't think you can hit him with enlarge unless you can see him.
I was going to hit him as soon as he went through those doors. So as he was moving, I'm going to hit him with it. I
All
got
right. It's a touch though, right?
No, it's 35-foot range.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. So Bardos or Fletcher,
Boom, boom, boom. Yay!
you run across here to there.
5 foot higher, right there.
Yeah, right
Okay.
there.
All right.
Flanking a storm.
All
I
right,
still
Fletcher.
get flanking, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you do.
Boy. Okay, so let me add up all my stuff. Hold on. 11, flanking. 13, full strength. 15, 16,
Mm.
and something else. No. All right, here's my tech.
That will hit.
Damage. 18, 20.
Now, I just want to let you know that you do not feel that your, as you strike this creature, you do not feel that your good aligned weapon is sufficient to get past its DR.
So it's not evil, huh?
It is, but there's an additional factor at play here. That blue-green glow. 29 points of damage, a solid hit, and it turns one of the goat head kind of looking at you like, meh. It seems very pissed off at you personally now. That was a heck of a strike, though. All right. Farina shot. Fletcher attacked. Bardos made him enlarged. Bottom of the order, Lothar.
Gatto just got in front of Lothar to protect Lothar at the moment.
Okay. Now, you can't go through the wall. Well, I mean, it depends on what you want to do.
Well, the way that
You don't know what he's doing.
the way that we had described it before, since this door is open, the burst takes its full
burst will.
radius, right? So
Oh, yeah.
from where I am, I'm going to burst and exclude the monster.
Okay. And is it enough to get? It should be enough to get even Gato.
Yeah, it'll get everybody.
Okay.
Oh, good, because
I got wounded.
9 points.
Oh, okay. Everybody get 9 points. We'll start at the top of the order. Give me a second.
Thank you for the healing.
Yes,
Thank you
very much.
Try not to get hit. I roll like crap.
Fletcher, your weapon is magical also, isn't it?
No.
Mine is, well,
You've gotten like 100 masterwork or magical longswords, but not a single greatsword of any value.
Okay. Isn't Bardo like a magic device savant here? Maybe he's working on that for you.
No, Flash Heart.
Yes, sir.
Do you have the arcane bond with with your weapon from the paladin?
Yeah, well, let's see. I believe so. I have to look at the original. Tell me what it does, because I'll tell you what I just
Well, you can give the weapon magical properties or magical pluses.
Well, that was the mission that we went on to the temple where we discovered you. Is I gave it a magical. It gained power by completing that quest.
No, Don's talking about a class ability.
Class ability of paladins.
This is
And it's separate it's separate from Smite Evil. It's a different ability.
What is it again?
I think it's Divine Bond.
I'll look it up, but it doesn't ring a bell with me. Sorry. I have Divine Bond with a horse if I ever get one.
Like a mount.
Wait, you choose either a mount or your weapon. You
Okay,
choose a mount that you don't have?
I chose a mount. Yes, I chose a mount I don't have. I have to go back.
Okay, never mind. I will never ask that again.
I'll go back.
I often wondered why anyone would choose a mount, since you don't really use them a lot when you're in dungeons. But
I'm gonna have a pocket mount where it just pops out of my bag and does battle.
Mount. One of those little ponies.
All
All right. So we're in round 2. Gato, top of the order.
Wait, hold on. There's a whole bunch of people who didn't go yet.
Like who?
Shark?
Flash Heart?
Flash Heart didn't go.
Did you roll initiative? I don't see it.
Let me roll down. I did roll on the
scroll up to see it. Yeah.
All right. I must have missed it. All right. Flash Heart. Who else didn't go? Who else did I miss?
I think Flash Heart was the only one that didn't go.
Okay. Flash Heart.
Okay.
There's my initiative.
All right. Flash Heart, go now.
All right. Okay. I'm going to charge into. I'll get flanked from right there, right?
Yeah, you can. Absolutely.
And I have Bless on us now. There we go.
That'll hit.
That will hit. 26 will hit. So Radiance comes swinging down. I'm assuming you're using it in the delighted mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still using delighted mode. Still get the bonuses, though, right?
Still get the bonuses.
Let's see. So D8 plus this plus this plus this.
14 points of damage. As Radiance cuts into this thing, it hits one of those patches of blue-green like stone that seem to be, I mean, when you look at this creature, it looks like a regular creature, a regular chimera that had a giant cannon of blue-green glowing stones basically shot at it, and they lodged into its body in various places. They're irregularly sized. Some of them stick out a little more. Some of them are under the skin, where you can see just the glow, but it's underneath the skin. And then it's all kind of like its limbs are all sort of mutated, possibly by the presence of these things. When you take Radiance and strike this creature, you hit it, but your blade touches one of those blue-green kind of sort of stone-like protuberances that are on the skin. And you hear in your head, it's almost as if the sword is screaming. It comes back out at you, just like jumps away. Whatever those crystals are, your radiance does not like them. And it practically jumps out of your hand, leaping away from this body at just the merest touch as you slice into it.
Okay.
So he doesn't do any damage?
Oh, it did damage. Hold on a second.
And he's magical and good, so there should be.
Yeah.
There's damage.
Okay.
All right. So you're in the thing now. In the initiative roll.
We're in the
Sorry
queue.
about that.
What did Bardos do?
Bardos enlarged you.
Yes, that's right. He paused. Got it.
Yep. And he waited. Actually, he's down a little further in the initiative roll now. All right, top of the order, Gato. We're gonna use your unless you want to roll again.
Nope, I'm good with that.
All right.
Yes, it is magical.
It is a hit, barely, but a hit. I also need a perception check from you when you get a moment.
Okay, it is magical.
Your sword is magical.
Yes.
Your elven blade, right?
My elven blade, Grandpa's blade.
Grandpa's blade.
I want a Grandpa's blade.
We can't have two. We can't have two elven grandpas in one
Chimera that no one else can hit.
We can't have two grandpa blades in one campaign. It's just simply not done. I mean, it's left out of the DM's guild.
I'll give him mine if he's willing to do what I did.
All right, so you do 14 points of damage in a sneak attack. So that goes in. And this thing is just like lashing around at all sides. He's getting stabbed and slashed at and that kind of stuff. The 24 perception, you look around, it's not so much what you see as what you hear. You're standing the closest to the holes in the wall areas that overlook the patio down below, and you can hear them talking. You speak. Do you speak any languages besides Common or Elven?
Give me just a second.
Someone needs to yell down. Chimera is sick. We need help up
I
here.
speak Common, Elven, and Halfling.
And Halfling. Okay, well, they're not speaking any of those languages, but you hear a burble of activity down below, voices, and in some cases, a couple of shouts. You suspect that they've heard what's going on up here.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's Gato. Now it's the Chimera's turn. So, and I'm just going to read this right out of here. Hold on a second, just so you know what I'm doing. It focuses its attacks first and foremost on the most heavily armored foes. Right now, that's got to be Flashheart. Flashheart,
Yep.
You're wearing plate armor, right?
Yes, sir.
Fletcher, what kind of armor are you wearing?
Chain shirt.
Chain shirt. Okay, well, that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 50-50. I'm going to roll percent.
Technically speaking, chain shirt is light armor, just so you know.
Is it? Okay.
It's not
Tell
even
you what.
medium.
Plate
All right.
metal, chain shirt. Plate metal trumps chain shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Here's what I'm gonna do. But Fletcher did the most damage to him last time. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna roll d6. 1 through 4, Flashheart. 5 or 6 is Fletcher.
Okie dokie.
4, Flashheart. All right. He is
Sorry,
going.
Flashheart, but
Boy, look at that. That is a lot.
Okay.
That is a full attack by this guy. Boy, we may have a problem.
Am I going to be joining my ancestors after this attack?
You bet. This guy is no joke. All right, so.
When you say we, Les, really, who are you talking about?
yeah.
Well, I'm
and
talking about. All right, so he gets 2 bites, a gore, and 2 claws. Okay, so
they're all ones.
What's your armor class?
22.
22. All right. So bite.
Bless doesn't help.
Oh, 2 misses. That was lucky. Gore. Oh, man. And 2 claws. Finally got one. He got a claw on you.
22. That's a hit, yeah.
7 points of claw damage. So you are just parrying away. This thing is just like the heads are coming at you and everything is flying around. Storm is flapping like crazy trying to get out of the way. Gatto, you don't know what he's doing there, but he's stabbing away. Fletcher's giant over there swinging things around, and this thing is just going at you like a crazy person. Came close a couple of times. None of those were terrible rolls, but you managed to dodge them all. It only takes 7 points as a claw rakes you across the shoulder and neck. As this creature continues to strain. You can feel this power in those claw marks. It's just like this, the pain is severe, and you can just feel like this. And you feel the same way that Radiance does about this creature as he's touched you. You just don't want anything to do with him. Illinois.
We have no idea what those blue glowing things are, right?
No idea.
Extra planar somehow, but
something. It looks like it was some between all of us. We'll take a break. It looks like it was something that was done to him.
Mm-hmm. He really did have a thorn in his paw.
Maybe if you could pry those things out. But Radiance doesn't want to have anything to do with that. All right, Ilandar's up, and Storm.
Okay, so I'm going to do a full and a single because that'll be the equivalent of doing the haste, and all these are at +3.
Okay. Ooh, okay, so 27 will hit, 29 is a potential crit, 24 will hit, and 28 will hit. So 4 hits, 1 potential crit.
Woo.
So go ahead and roll to see if you confirm that crit.
Okay, I'm just going to do the whole thing again, and it's just the first claw.
Second one. Or you want to do this for the first one?
No, it's the first claw.
Oh, okay, right.
Was potential. So I'm just going to do that whole thing again.
That whole
the claw one.
That way it gets the bonuses right. 20, no crit, but you do...
23?
It's 23 technically.
23 is not enough.
Is it a 24, Mike, because of the bless, or is there a bless still?
Yeah, bless is still on.
Oh, bless is still on, so it's 24. The 3 is for 2 for flanking and 1 for haste.
Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Are we all blessed?
All right, yes, no, that's a confirmed crit.
We are all blessed.
Yes.
Chuck, are you digging?
Thank you.
Bless. So it's a 24, and that's its armor class, so that's a confirmed.
You're welcome, Mike.
All right, you want the chart or you want the damage?
Chart.
Chart for sure.
Hate you. All right, so let me. All right, let's see. So that's a natural attack, correct?
These are magical natural attacks.
Well, all right. So I can do
damage resistance purposes.
So it's a claw, right? So I can do slashing or magic. It's probably slashing.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Missing digits. Max damage and target loses D3 fingers. It doesn't have fingers. So okay.
But a head.
Wings.
Lose a head.
Heads.
Oh, okay. Sapping slash. Double damage and target is fatigued. So let's take a look at that. So you got him. Hold on a second. Let me do the damage. It's 10, 10. Okay. So it did seem to hurt him quite a bit. I mean, not as much. I mean, there's still damage reduction, but that fatigued is going to be a problem. So let me check to see. I can never remember what these do.
I think it's just a -2 to everything.
It's -2, I believe, but I'm going to double check real quick.
-2 penalty to strength and dex.
Yep. All right. So that could be a decent deal. So he's going to lose 1 off his AC because of the dex. The dex penalty, and then the strength will reduce his. It'll be -1 against his damages because he's doing natural attacks. Okay.
Now you took off damage for a 10, a 20, a 7, and a 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did. So the DR on this thing is insane. Frankly, none of you have enough, except for Flashheart. None of you have anything that can get past its DR. Flash Art's the only one that does, at least as far as I know.
So Gatto's magic sword didn't?
No.
You just need a magical weapon, or you don't?
It was probably magic
Not
and
enough.
good.
Magical weapon is not enough.
You need a mythic magic weapon, which we have none of.
You have one of.
We have one of.
What magic weapon? Bless?
Mythic.
It's Radiance. Radiance seems to be the only thing that can pierce this thing's DR.
The only weapon that can and doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to.
It's cut its flesh fine. When it touched one of those stones, it came out of that wound like it was like a gunshot.
Okay.
Wait. Time out. There was an extra sword in that tomb that somebody took.
No, you left that there.
No, we were going to ask.
We took everything. We took everything we were going to ask the dwarf when we got back. We took everything.
Yep, we're going to go back there and get that stuff.
Any second now.
I was under the impression that you left that stuff there.
The dwarves can take it off our dead bodies later.
Othar, didn't you see that Bless was a +1 on damage too?
No.
No, it's just +1 to hit.
And on saves.
Yeah, it saves.
Yep.
All right. So
so that was Storm. I'm going to do an acid splash at it.
Okay. 19 will miss.
Did not.
Yeah. Was that with a +3? No.
No, that one should have a +1.
+2?
20's not enough either.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough. Right now, its AC is at 23 due to fatigued. All right. Next up, Fletcher, Farina, and Bardos.
And I'm moving back a little bit.
You gonna kind of hunker back against that wall around that door there?
Yeah.
Or just getting out of the way of Farina's like, don't step in front of me.
He's got a bunch of pointy things going past me, and I didn't care for that much. So
Illendar just kind of does one. And off he goes.
Rena, you
Fletcher, go ahead.
Okay. I believe I get 2 attacks.
A full attack action, yep. With haste. What in the holy hell is that?
That's to confirm the crit, the third one.
Oh, that's a crit.
I'll take the chart.
Slashing weapon, yes?
Yes.
Oh. So, all right, so this is not as cool as it should be, but across the eyes, max damage and target permanently blinded reflex negates. Here's the problem. It's got 3 heads.
So
one of the attacks is coming from one of those blinded heads now.
That's true. So at least one of those attacks, one of the bites will come from the head. So, yeah, so we have to determine. So which is the – so I'm going to let you roll it. Roll a d6, 1 to 2 dragon head, 3 to 4 lion head, 5 to 6 goat head.
Okay.
3 lion head, so it's a bite that it is now blinded, and a claw. So it gets a claw and a bite, the lion does, and it is blinded, and you do max damage.
Max damage.
Max.
30 points.
30 points. That's solid. You're still hitting it hard. And this blinding is not helping things at all. 2 crits. Pissing me off. All right, Farina and Bardos, you guys are up.
Okay, I know I'm not doing a lot of damage, but I'm still going to try and shoot 2 more arrows into it.
Okay. The first one is a hit because of the fatigued.
And did you do +1 for bless?
I did.
Oh, sure. All right, 8 points of damage. The arrow goes wicking into him. You hit him. You did some. Every little bit helps. Bardos, what about you?
I think I'm going to cheer them on.
Go team. Kind of thing.
Give me an F.
I'll move up to Illendar and say, so they got this covered, right?
Ilndar's like, oh yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. And I'll draw Baru up into my robes to caress him and say, thanks for exposing yourself to these horrible things.
Aw.
You pick him up?
Yep.
Brew, believe me, is happy to be home. Flash art. Now it's your
Finish
chance.
him.
And then Lothar, you're up to kill the round.
Come on, Flash Art.
This is your time, buddy. You're the only one that's passing through its DR.
All right, I'm gonna give quite a quick prayer to Amadei.
Obadiah, aid me!
I would have, but you picked the horse.
Yeah, I'll see you 40 miles from here, down on the trail somewhere. A brilliant white horse is just sort of stomping around going, where the fuck is he?
All right, so
You got a lot of pluses.
Yeah, I'm gonna do.
So you got bless.
Got haste.
You got haste, which means if you're doing a full round attack action, you get an extra attack.
And both are +1. And you got bless. And you got flanking.
And I think I'm gonna smite evil.
Are you
Oh, I would definitely
laying up smite?
Yep,
I would not do that on a creature that's 80% dead already.
You don't think so? Okay.
This is our first encounter in this place.
All right,
Oh, you picked a good
Chimera.
one.
Mythic Chimera.
Hey, they killed a tiefling. That was our first encounter.
Yeah,
Okay, that was
Yeah, obviously, we wouldn't use another tiefling.
they slew one stable boy and then moved on to this thing.
2 attacks. Right? 2 attacks.
2 attacks. You got all your bonuses in there?
That's for the roll. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
25 is a hit.
Mhm.
Radiance buries itself back in the creature's thing, but you can feel the blade moving around to avoid those crystals. 15 points of damage. It is still alive.
Oh man.
Lothar,
Magic missile.
Lothar.
can you vermithrall this thing? Because otherwise it's going to get its attacks and it's going to go against Fletcher.
Nope, sorry, I don't have any ability to vermithrow this thing, but I can give everybody some healing.
That would
Here we
be
go.
nice too.
6 points.
Man, you just can't. That's two on your 2 of your healing rolls. You've rolled natural ones on both of them.
Yes, I know.
Well, it's rolling 3 dice, so anytime one of them is a 1.
Oh, really? Okay, let me check.
This
Yeah,
one
but
was bad
there
because
are 2 ones.
Oh, yeah, there's 2 ones there. Well, I gotta look at back at the other one.
The last one had just a single 1.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just like all ones. Okay.
No,
All right. Well,
a
that's
single
not.
one, but the other 2 were 2s, so
Oh, God.
Oh, was it?
Sucks. All right, but everybody gets 6 hit points back, except for my guy because you guys are prejudiced.
And Gato.
Gato doesn't get.
Because
He's
he's
already there.
Gato's not hurt.
All right, so that's Lothar. So it's 11 o'clock. Do you want to stop here? Or do you want to do one more round?
one more round.
All right, Gato.
Finish him.
Oh, 29 will hit. 3 plus 10 sneak. It's DR5. He's using a magic weapon. But it doesn't necessarily. 13 minus 5 is 8. It has 4 points left.
Okay, my
It's-
second one, 26 doesn't hit.
26 hits with another 5 points of damage. So 13
10 points of damage.
total.
10 points total.
10 points total. 13 points total.
No. The first one was a 29 for 13 points.
Right.
second one-
DR5. That's 8.
Right?
Oh, he took into the DR, so 5 more points. Yeah.
5 for the first. You get 8. You did
8
8
and
points
5,
of damage
yeah.
and 5, which is 13. It sways a bit, and then flash art to your amazement, it falls in front of you, and you see Gato standing behind it with this curved,
pulling
wickedly
his sword out.
curved elven sword in his hand and a frightened look on his face, like this, like. Oh. The stones begin to pulse, and it looks like they're almost moving under the skin as they are moving under the skin. They slowly sort of are crawling back towards each other, and they meet in the back, in its spine, right behind its neck, and they sort of. And you can hear these big chunks of this blue stuff connecting together.
Can I swing at it?
Run!
It
Duck!
just I mean, you could try swinging at it.
That's what I would do.
All right, take a shot.
It might be pointless, but that's what I would do.
You can take 2 shots, actually. You're hasted still.
Yeah, I'll do two. Soon I'm 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay.
22. You hit it.
And
38, and you hit it, and your sword glances off. Ting! You come back around, and you like hit it square, and it's just like hitting a brick wall. Boom! You're following through. You practically break your wrists. The sword goes flying back away from this crystal, and you're just like, you don't think you did anything to it. Once the crystal has sort of collected itself back together, and you can see that it is an actual crystal that's glowing, sort of this blue-green, and it's pulsing, and it's sort of just like emerges from the creature, rolls down, and Gato falls at sort of like near your feet.
Ooh.
Gato does?
No, Gato doesn't fall. The crystal falls out of the creature
At Gato's feet.
at Gato's feet.
I grab it and put it on my back. I'm a mythic now.
I'm mythic now.
It lands about right there because it's sort of. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's this blue-green crystal, and it's oblongish. It's about the size of like a bowling ball. The glow has diminished a lot, so it's not really glowing a lot anymore. But there's still this like glow in it. You reach down. You're gonna pick it up. What's your alignment?
I'm going to grab a sack. I've got a sack, and I'm just going to use that to envelop it and pick it up. I'm not touching it with my hands.
All right, so a woven cloth sack.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh?
You know it's evil.
It said flash art detect evil.
You know it's evil.
Oh, it radiates evil like you wouldn't believe. Like, this is, you've seen undead, you've seen demons, you've seen creatures from the pit. This thing radiates more evil than all of them.
Huh.
Gato, you get that cloth around it and you pull your hand back because it's like, it's blazing hot. 8 inches away, a foot away, you can't hear it. But once you tried to wrap that cloth around it and your fingers got within a couple of centimeters of it, it was like a combination of fire and electricity. You couldn't, you were like, I can't touch this thing.
So would we say maybe it's extra planar? Is that a guess? I can't think what's on this plane that would do that.
I want Lothar and Bardos to give me a knowledge check at the highest one, religion, arcane, or planes.
25.
Okay. Bardos, what'd you get?
Second.
Unless, just as a reminder, that 38 I hit it was with a good aligned weapon.
Doesn't matter. This thing, it's like it rejected it. It bounced off. So Bardos, you don't remember this, but Lothar says, remember when we were in Kenebris and we went into the Grey Garrison to destroy the Wardstone? And remember they told us, the guy who worked for Erebeth told us that they had planned to bring something called a Hydrian crystal to come and destroy the Wardstone, and they were going to corrupt it? Lothar points at that thing and goes,
We found the Hydrian crystal. Nice.
I think that's one of those crystals. And then Bardos goes, it wasn't Hydrian, it was Nihydrian, which you would recognize as an abyssal word, like a proper term, but it was Nihydrian crystal. You guys, Lothar, you look at Bardos. Bardos, you look back at Lothar, and you think this might be one of them. It rejects everything you touch at. A good aligned weapon, it threw it back at you. Radiance, repelled from its touch. You do detect evil, and it's so evil that it just wipes you out from a point of view of evil. Whatever this thing is, and it's right now it's sort of pulsing underneath the cloth that Gato threw over the top of it, the sack, which he's now reluctant to try and touch. It's just laying there, looking at you.
Hot potato.
It's definitely a hot potato. And that is where we will stop for the evening.
Yay!
All right. So before we go, I wanted to get you guys to vote. So it's been 3 weeks since we had a B team. B team is tentatively scheduled for October 28th, according to the schedule. However, it's been a while, so I bow to the will of collective. Do you next Sunday? Do you guys want to do Wrath or do you guys want to do B team?
I wouldn't mind B team just so if I don't feel guilty if I have to miss it.
I'll go with the flow. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
One B, one abstain, two abstains,
Don't care.
three
If
abstain.
Flashart can't make it, I'd rather do B.
Yeah, I probably go down.
I vote B team.
We're camping
Okay.
on the 28th. I don't know what kind of service we're going to have.
Ooh.
Ooh, do you guys want to? Do you guys? That being the case, do you guys want to take advantage of them being here next week and then B team on the 28th? We'll keep the
That sounds
group
good. That sounds good.
Okay. Congratulations on entering Citadel Drezen.
Whoa.
But the last thing before we go is Gato and Fletcher look towards the stairs and hear the creaking of an open door and the sounds of some language that Gato doesn't understand. I don't know what Fletcher speaks, but
It's not halfling?
it's not halfling.
Halfling.
But you hear the sound of people and down there, the clank of armor and weapons, and a man's voice giving orders in a language you don't understand.
Is it undercommon or abyssal?
It is abyssal, but you're not in a position to hear it.
I'm always in
I
position.
imitate a dragon, a lion, and a goat.
Something's coming up the stairs. Some people are coming.
Yeah.
Up the stairs.
I don't see the stairs.
How much room's in our head bag for these three?
They're right here, dude.
Oh, I see him now, yeah.
Yeah, those are the stairs. You're guessing. I mean, your gut tells you those are the stairs that go down to the patio. Those are the patio stairs, and it's probably the patio guys. They've heard the battle. It was a remarkably short battle against a mythic creature, and I have to congratulate you guys on doing well and killing it. But this thing makes it, I mean, it wasn't quiet.
I turn to Flashart and say, "Don't worry, little brother. There's more."
There's more.
Yeah. This is the opening Wandering Monster, right?
We're doing a lot of 13th Warrior quotes tonight. It's made of honey.
All right.
All right,
Night, everybody.
thank you guys.
Hey, Les,
Yep.
you get my note?
Stay online for a second.
Okay.
Good night, you guys. Thanks again. Awesome gaming tonight.
Right.
Leave.
Go to bed, Matt. Tell you what, I'll just I've got to stop the recording and everything anyway. So I'm stopping the recording.